What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Appreciate you tuning in. This is the Dumbest in the Room podcast. As always, I'm Raven. Alongside me is my co-host. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
Third episode, you feel me?
Yeah, and third episode got a special guest like we were telling you at the end of the second one.
Very first guest. We excited to have him on.
Yeah, for sure. My homie Justin Nieto. So, Justin, for those who may not know you, which I'm assuming might be damn near everybody, just kind of tell them a little bit about yourself. So, background, what you're currently doing, just like what you're kind of on right now.
Jay Bird.
I'm Justin. I met Aaron in college. We both went to Simpson University together. As of right now, I'm not really hooping, but I'm trying to finish school here. It's kind of hard with all the COVID stuff and all the quarantining, and the school's not really being open. But job-wise, I'm working with kids with autism here at a facility in Modesto, California. That's really what I'm on right now. Just trying to stay in shape, stay educated.
That's dope. That's dope. We appreciate you coming on, bro. You feel me? I met Justin through Aaron because they're boys, like he was saying, like they met in school. But I appreciate you coming on, bro. You feel me?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I definitely appreciate the invite. Not really, or before I wasn't really a podcast type person, but obviously Aaron is my homie, so I started, listening to his podcast and kind of like how you guys are.
Yeah, it's kind of dope.
Doing
yeah.
I mean, shit, we not podcast guys, you feel me? But then we just was like, I mean, obviously you came up with it, but feel me?
Like the vision was kind of just to get people to start having a conversation about serious issues going on. So kind of brings the topic today. I wouldn't say it's like it's not like is racism still prevalent?
Religion, spirituality.
Yeah. So today's topic is kind of more light. I mean, I think it's serious because I'm an athlete, but today's topic, we're going to be talking about two different things, and it's going to be misconceptions of being a student athlete and should student athletes be paid?
Should college athletes be getting paid?
College
basically,
athletes.
Which is like a pretty like controversial topic that people be going back and forth with.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're gonna get into that. But like they said, or like Aaron was saying, like Justin was saying, they met in school. So did y'all like just meet because of basketball, or did y'all like see each other in the halls and was like, hey, it was good, like I'm fucking with you?
Honestly, bro, I mean, because we was on our junior year, it was different. It was like, because I was there, but Justin wasn't really like there like that. Because he redshirted or grayshirt?
Yeah, I redshirted my first year at Simpson.
What's that? I don't. For the people that don't know.
Oh, okay. So there's two different kinds of shirts. Shirting pretty much means you're essentially taking a year off from the sport, not from school, but from the sport. So gray shirting is what they call taking under a full-time student's class load. So most, or not most, but in order to be a full-time student, you need to take at least 12 credits.
Right.
So when you gray shirt, you take 11. So your college clock doesn't start yet because you are supposed to, or your clock starts you have 5 years to play for once your clock starts. And your clock starts once you start taking that full-time student, load of units. But I did what they called the second type of shirt, which is a red shirt. Typically, it's used for medical reasons, like say, you're hurt and you don't want to use that year of eligibility. So you use your redshirt year so that way you can recover during that year and then play, your
for sure. So
your valid years. But I used it because of like units reasons. Like I didn't have enough units that transferred over in the previous year, so I just used it, to not lose the year, but still be able to play the following year.
Okay, I got you. So Aaron, you were already there before him?
Nah, so
he just.
We got there the same year. I think it was after the 2016, 2017 year. That was like my last year at my JUCO. So we both got there like 2017, 2018. But I wasn't like redshirt or whatever. He just had the red shirt. So he wasn't really like there for that. So he would go home damn near every weekend. I was just there the whole time. So me and Justin, honestly, we wasn't really even like that close like the first year.
But I'm saying, so y'all literally just met on the team, though?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, that's how it was?
Yeah.
For sure. That's what's up. Okay, yeah.
I'd honestly say we met through our mutual guy, Spencer Wood.
Spence?
Shout out to Spence, for sure.
We didn't get, like tight like that until probably that Chico party, honestly.
Yeah,
we're gonna get into the questions that we have, or like the misconceptions and the should college athletes get paid. But yeah, why don't y'all just like tell them some stories or something? I don't know, because you feel me, like I've heard some shit that y'all have said, and it's just like it's pretty interesting. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna get into the deep stuff, but like I have some questions for y'all too. That's just like funny
like,
stuff. Like I want to know, like just the average person who's not an athlete. You feel me?
You mean like is being like an athlete like?
No, I'm saying like I have my own questions, but I'm saying like you said the Chico story. Like what's that? Like
I mean like some of it, bro. Like I'm not even about to lie to you. It's like some of it's like pretty like R-rated stuff. Not saying we did anything like illegal, but
I feel it.
It's like
I feel it. So y'all was having fun though. Y'all was having
I mean we went to school in Reading though, so it's not like we was at like San Diego State, so we was doing something every day. But we was like maybe 50 or an hour away from Chico.
Yeah, Chico was about an hour away, and to be honest, we weren't even supposed to be like doing anything at the school that we were at. Yeah,
for real.
Super monitor. If you got caught doing anything, bro, like. I mean, for me, like, I'm not about to try to, like, cap. Like, if I got caught doing something, you're not going to kick me off the team just because of what I meant to the team. I'm not about to lie to you. But if it was, like, shout out to Zach Burns, but if Zach Burns got caught doing something, he's off the team.
I don't even know Zach, but that just sounds funny. Hey, shout out Zach, though. I'm sure he's doing his thing.
They had a joke, but it was essentially, like, law there. It was no drugs, no alcohol, no sex, and no rock and roll. For whatever reason, I don't know why they I don't know why they added rock and roll in there, but that was like a
people
say,
joke. Like, I guess like people think rock and roll is like the devil's music.
Yeah, and we were at a private Christian university, so I can see how that played into that. But
I didn't know Simpson was.
Bro. Couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I just didn't know it was a Christian school. I never knew that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, like some of the coaches like knew I was on some like not like weird stuff, but like doing stuff. Like,
right, like I would assume that like a lot of y'all were still drinking and shit.
Yeah,
maybe not y'all, but like you feel me, like
you're 21, 22, but
you're in college,
right?
Not even that, like not saying that like I was just trying to have intercourse with multiple females, but because I was in a relationship at that time.
Okay.
But my girlfriend, she is my girlfriend of some years.
Yeah.
She would come and visit, and I had to have the door open.
Yeah.
Keep in mind,
like they wasn't letting y'all fuck.
You can do anything.
And
even if it was your girl.
Yes. Keep in mind, I'm at that time 23. I'm 23 years old.
Yeah, you trying to get that off?
Not even that. I'm an adult. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and I have somebody younger than me coming to my room and telling me that my girlfriend can't lay on the bed next to me, or I need to keep my door propped open. And it's like, I understand there's rules here, but I'm also a grown adult. You can't tell me that my girlfriend of 3 years can't lay on the bed next to me.
Yeah, you're a grown ass man. Like what?
That's when we would just go Chico or do something like especially like when we took like our little trips, like when we would go to LA or Hawaii. Like that's when people was like really. It's like, all right, bro, we not at school, so. Because usually people it was already set up like, hey, like I'm about to hang out with so and so when I get there, or like, hey, like I got some stuff like that.
Okay, so leading into that, my first question is like, were y'all good? Like, were y'all even good?
Like the team?
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to like.
Because that is gonna segue into my next question, but yeah, like were y'all even good? Like was y'all?
I honestly think we could have been a lot better than we were. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus.
I'll do it. Our coach was ass.
I would say our head coach could have used a lot more assistance from his assistant coaches than he thought he could have,
and input from the players because we're the ones actually playing.
Is this the same coach you were talking about in the previous episode where like you guys wanted to kneel and then he was like, okay, for sure. But, so he wasn't.
I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus, but I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like he was trash.
Like how was it like rotations and stuff, or he just like wasn't good? Like
it was like
literally developing you guys, or
because like there was no developmental process. It was university.
You came in, if you wasn't straight, then you just not ever gonna be straight.
Obviously, as an athlete, you should be working on your own stuff.
Right.
But I've always felt like once you get to university, like you're gonna have coaches, doing workouts with you, helping you get better because they want to, produce you to that next level after college. But there just wasn't that there. And granted, me and Aaron were, we got really close that second year. So me and Aaron were in the gym all the time,
every day.
That's what you were saying. Like every day, y'all would just be working.
Yeah, because like nobody else would like do it. So like me, and to answer your first, so I'm gonna just backtrack to answer your first question. So like I wouldn't even say it was rotations, but it was a little bit of everything because it was. And I think Justin can attest to this because I'm not just trying to make it sound like I'm the best player in the world because I'm not. But it was like a 2-player team, really. It was Coop, who you've never met Coop before.
Nah, but I've heard y'all talk about it.
Yeah, so it was Coop, and it was Coop, me. He didn't even play me, so like that's like the rotation thing. So like we would come to him and be like, listen, like we need more help because like the people you're playing, they're just not. It's either they don't know the plays or they're just not skilled enough. We wasn't trying to throw anybody under the bus, but like it was our senior year, so like I'm not trying to lose. If I lose, then I'm done.
Right.
So I used to go in his office or whatever and be like, "Yo, Todd, you're playing so and so, which is fine, but like he hasn't been performing for the last 3-4 games. Why not put Justin in there? Why not put B? Because you don't know what you're gonna get from them. You haven't even tried that." And he would just be like, all right, like I know what I'm doing or whatever. Never put him in the game.
It's annoying.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like, and for me, it's like if we lose, they look at us like, why didn't we win? Why didn't you play better?
Like y'all are,
right. It's like, well, Todd, like, listen, bro, like you're the one that's always saying it's a team game if I'm taking 20 shots, but like you're not playing the right people. So at the end of the day, like if I'm gonna get blamed for the loss, I'm gonna try to win the game. If I don't, I know Zach doesn't work on a shot, and I'm not trying to throw Zach on the bus. I don't know why. I'm just thinking about Zach. Zach's a great kid. Shout out to Zach. I hope he's doing great. I'm not trying to throw him under the bus.
Shout out, bro.
But if I see bro in the corner that I know can't shoot and doesn't actually put the work in,
he not getting it.
Right, because Justin works out with me every day, so I know what Justin's putting in.
Yeah.
But I don't see.
No, I've seen Justin do.
Right, like I don't see bro in the gym, so like it's a trust factor. So you want me to toss the ball out when he hasn't taken a shot in 2 months?
Yeah. So what? Just real quick too, because I'm curious. What positions did y'all play? Like you're like a 2, right?
I'm like a combo guard, but mainly a 2. Yeah.
Justin?
I'd say I'd probably more of a 3.
Yeah. I feel it. I mean, like when we be playing like pickup or whatever, like y'all be playing pickup, I feel like you usually just always the big man, just because like you're bigger. But like if you're actually playing at the collegiate level, that sounds more right, like a 3. Like
I mean, if he's just throwing it, but he's on the perimeter. You're not throwing the ball to Justin in the post.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
I feel it. Okay, so y'all were okay. Your team was okay. Like how far did y'all go?
We was with the talent we had, bro. Because it was what like a 8-team league or something, Justin.
I don't even think it was that big, honestly. I think
it was like
smaller. It might have been like
not
6.
7 or something. It was like
6 or 7. Because I remember saying like our leagues from JUCO had like more teams.
Yeah, and that's another crazy part. My JUCO experience was way tougher than my actual like real university.
Yeah, you guys were saying that. It's like very. There's your whole journey. I mean, it's like I said, I don't know. I'm not an athlete, but I'm sure that other athletes could attest to that. Like it's not. Just like you were saying, like the end. Yeah, you went to Simpson, but there's a lot before that.
I played way harder competition in high school than that.
Was that the Lake Merritt JUCO?
No, that was my first JUCO. But like when I went to Heritage, when we was like good, when I told you we used to have the city lit.
Yeah, you do be saying that.
I played way harder competition than I ever played at Simpson.
You talking about in Brentwood, like in high school?
But we used to like travel though. That's the thing. Like we was good, bro.
Oh damn!
Like when we had Sean Bridge, Pierre, all them. Like we was tough, bro.
I mean, it may be Brentwood, but this is still considered like
we still in the Bay. We're playing against like DB with Marcus Lee and them. Like,
like because like my high school, I'm not even gonna lie. Like our high school competition wasn't really much, but like once I got to Delta, Delta's a pretty good program and they got a pretty good league. I would definitely say that Delta's like league was tougher than Simpson's.
That's crazy. So like I never thought of that. Like your guys' high school experiences or even just like JUCO experiences were like more than your 4-year or whatever.
Yeah, easy.
That's crazy.
That's why when I got to Simpson, it was just like it just was easy. It just was like this is stupid. It was almost like this is stupid.
Okay, so my question though is like, okay, I don't know how good y'all were or whatever, but you said like when y'all would go to like other spots to like kick it, all that stuff. Like, is it like you see in the movies where it's like, oh, like they popping, like are y'all like females like throwing themselves at y'all? Like when you walk into
is that like Simpson?
Yeah, or just like I don't know, you feel me? But like
you mean like when we say we did go to like parties? And
yeah,
stuff like that, like just females around. Are they feeling like us strictly based off appearances?
Yeah,
or look like athletes.
Yeah, like are they flocking when you guys walk in the party? I mean, they're like, oh shit.
Are they flocking when you guys are walking? I don't like
that. Are they flocking? Like, are they flocking? Like when you guys enter the party, is it like, oh shit, they're going to athletes?
Are you talking about just like at our school or when we leave?
Both. But I would say like
at the school we were at, it's a little different.
People didn't like really fuck with that.
Yeah, like I think we're probably gonna get into that based off of like how we are perceived at universities and stuff like that. But the specific university we were at, I don't really think we weren't liked. I guess you could say.
I for sure wasn't.
Well, and it's like you said, you've told me before. It's Redding, California. That's like up north. It goes back to the whole being like a conservative. You feel me?
Yeah, I for sure wasn't. I mean, I was hooping, but like people was like after that, it's like all right, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks
And
for-
what are you, Justin? You're like Hispanic descent? Like,
Yeah, I'm Mexican. I'm
Okay.
100% Mexican.
yeah.
So like you can hoop like, hey, Aaron, thanks for dropping 28, but like you're still black, bro. It's like, all right, bro, I'm just go to class then.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy. So like yeah, like I said, though, like let's say you go to a different school though, like or like I said, are the honeys flocking or what?
I mean,
I
I guess you can say to a certain extent,
Yeah.
like, most females like a taller,
Right.
male.
Right.
And typically athletes tend to be a little taller, especially in the sport of basketball. So you could kind of say that, but I've always thought it's strictly the vibes that we give off. Like, especially me,
dudes, bro. We just like chilling.
yeah, like, like we're I guess you could say we're funny dudes, we're easy to talk to, stuff like that. Like we meet a bunch of different people all the time. So like conversations are really easy for us. So I feel like that plays a lot into it,
Plus, like I said, like people kind of already had like because we had like a Hawaii trip, or like we go to LA. Like people already kind of had in mind, like, hey, bro, we go to Hawaii like in a month. I'm setting like shit up. Like I already know what's
I'm
going
setting
on.
that play up.
Yeah, I already know what's going. So like when we got there, like we'd have practice, whatever, and then people would be like, get back to the room, like, all right, bro, I'll see you later, because the dude's already going there certain.
Yeah. I feel it. They about to knock. Yeah, I feel it. Okay, for sure. So I mean, like, yeah, no, that's just one question I had. So yeah, like, seems like there's some good times.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
You meet like some of your closest friends, like, and that's what I love about sports too, because like you meet somebody like your best friends for like the rest of your life, just through sports. So you don't really remember too much like the scores of games stuff. You really remember like,
oh yeah,
it sounds like cliche, but like the times in the locker rooms, like you really remember those.
Oh yeah.
What's the most y'all dropped? Like what's
In a game ever?
Yeah.
Like ever, not just Simpson.
Yeah.
Ever 46.
Okay, a little 46 piece. I know, like you weren't damn near playing as much as Aaron, right? Like,
Yeah,
I'm sure you still had some cool ass games.
I think at Delta I might have had like a 20-something point game, but I remember like in high school I dropped like 27. But
yeah, or just like some dope plays. I'm sure y'all remember, like maybe like some game winners or some shit. I don't know.
I've never hit a game winner in my life.
You said you used to like you never really was like yamming like that.
Not really. I just don't really see the appeal in it. Honestly, it's like
You can get up though.
yeah, you can do it, but it's like, all right, dog. Like I'm 6', 6'1". It's like people don't understand. Like you know how much it takes to really do that.
I don't.
Plus, like especially playing in like at my university, like you have so much responsibility. You have to do so much stuff. It's like I'm not trying to do that, bro.
I feel like that's like dunking. That's like that's like the young man's game. Like
Yeah.
just being reckless and just like
Yeah, it's cool. It looks nice. Like I'll do it in warm-ups, so I'm like trying to get warmed up, but like I'm not like doing it just to, hey, bro, I got a fast break. Like I'm gonna just do this because
I'm just about to Westbrook this shit.
Yeah, nah, I'm gonna lay it up, get back on defense, 2 points.
yeah.
I feel it. Okay, for sure. Like that's cool. So that's a little bit about, you feel me, Aaron and Justin, their background. You want to get into like the actual topic?
The question, yeah. So I guess I can ask you because you're not. I don't want to say you're not an athlete and you're not athletic, but you didn't have obviously the same experience
Right.
Me and Justin have. So the first topic is probably going to be the shorter one, opposed to the why or should collegiate athletes actually get paid?
Right.
But what are some of like the misconceptions of student athletes?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I don't know. Like, I if you're asking me like what I would say that more so like you guys could describe that. But one thing I would say, like, if I'm just thinking about an athlete, or I feel like this is what happens a lot of times. You've even told me this. It's like, yeah, no, like that's what you are. You're just an athlete. Mm-hmm. Like, what I'm over here asking you, how much did you drop? How much did you drop? You feel me? It's like there's a lot more to you than that. So like, you know, you have your degree.
I would definitely say that could be something. Some people think like you're just an athlete, and you can go back to the LeBron just shut up and dribble type thing. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people think that athletes are athletes, and they're not able to have the mental capacity to hold conversations, or they're not intelligent because they're so good at a sport that there's no way that they can be smart as well. You know what I mean? Like you look back at other athletes like Richard Sherman, people were trying to say that he wasn't intelligent, and he went to Stanford, right? Graduated from Stanford.
See, I didn't know that.
Right. Or even, and I think it's worse, and I hate to bring race back into it, but I think it's worse for minority athletes.
Oh, because I wouldn't even say
you don't hear anybody saying anything like that about Andrew Luck at all. But
it's they're perceived as that. Like you see a white man. Oh, okay, he's
Richard
educated.
Sherman, same school as Andrew Luck. I'm not saying they took the same class or whatever, but Stanford is Stanford.
Yeah, Stanford is.
But Richard Sherman, people are like, oh, he's a thug, he's this, he's that. It's like, nah, like if you actually
He's
sit down and hear the
person.
man speak and like what he has to say, you wouldn't really feel like that. But I think, and like I said, I hate to tie it back in the race because that's not the topic for today. But
I wouldn't even say hate to tie it in. Like that's a
yeah, I think that's an actual thing.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, and kind of piggybacking off what Justin said, I think that's a great point. People think just because you're so good at a sport and that you can't either have any other interest or have like the mental capacity to think about other things that aren't basketball, football, baseball. It's
So I think that's another question, another misconception that I want to know, where it's like, yeah, you guys are athletes, but like sometimes I feel like people say like, oh well, like that's all they have to do. They just have to be an athlete. Like we're teachers, like because like you see in the movies or I don't know, like we're teachers taking it easier on y'all. Like and I like he's an athlete, like just let him do his thing. Like you feel me?
By taking it easy on us, what do you mean by that? Like giving you like leeway to turn stuff in late, or like
yeah, and
maybe
just
grading
like
you on curves stuff. Are you talking about stuff like that?
yeah, like are they treating you guys any different than the regular student? And then also just like I said in the first part, is it like you guys aren't just athletes? Like people are saying like, oh, like they're an athlete, like they got games, but I'm sure like there's a lot more that y'all are having to do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like what's your maybe like typical day? Like I don't know. But,
well, to touch on the first like point that you said, I'm not gonna lie and say like, oh, we don't get like, I don't know if you want to call it special treatment or whatever, but there are teachers that definitely are more lenient towards athletes because I feel like they understand possibly what an athlete does go through on the day-to-day basis.
right.
But to be honest, at the school that we were at Simpson University, I wouldn't really say like that we were getting much special treatment, as some would call it. I feel like we were treated very evenly in terms of leniency, grading, late work, stuff like that. I don't really think there was any kind of, some people call it favoritism, stuff like that going on. Like I said, there's definitely times where teachers, do give you, an extra few days to turn something in, or maybe let you retake a test because as an athlete you go on like trips for a week and you miss three lectures.
I mean that's understandable though.
I mean you would think because like I was actually gonna bring that up because we were in Hawaii for a week or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was like 7 days exactly. That
yeah, so we went to Hawaii and I had like and granted like I was like preparing for the assignment before, but we had to come back. Or I had to come back and I had like a 25 or 30-minute presentation to do or whatever. And I think it was a con law or something like that, like the week after. And so obviously like that last week I was still going to use to prepare because like I wasn't going to just cram and do everything before. So like we left and I still had to like do all that. Plus I had to like go out and perform. Like it's a lot. And I don't think people really give athletes enough credit. Not saying like athletes should be treated like better because I don't think so. Like I think you know what you're signing up for if you're a student athlete, and like student athletes are so used to it. Like you begin to get pretty good at like managing your time and like handling like the situations. But I think if you put a lot of other students who I guess you can say quote unquote or like normal students who don't have to worry about like all right, well I gotta wake up at 8, go to class, then I gotta eat. Then we got film.
Right.
Then we had what we had because we went to a Christian school. We had to go to like chapel or whatever. I'm not saying chapel was like bad. It was like you had to go to chapel.
Oh damn.
Then we have to go to another class. And we got to go practice. Then we got to go eat. Then we got to go back watch film again for some reason. I don't know. Film is like side note. I don't think film is. I don't see the point of watching film as a team. I really don't.
What about like watching it though? Like
I'll watch it for sure.
Yeah.
But that's just another side note, but
so it's a full ass.
It's a full day, right?
And didn't you say that like yeah, okay, that's your schedule, but then like that's not even including like if y'all just want to get work in on your own
because you have to stay up. So like a team practice, you're not really doing too much individual work, right? You're running through plays, you're running through sets. I'm just talking about basketball in this case. I don't know football, I don't know soccer.
Sure.
I'm just talking about basketball. So you're running through your sets, or you're running through the other team sets. Things like that, just walkthroughs. And then after, usually, because like I said, me and Justin used to work out every day, you try to get individual skill work in. So that's like another hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. So you have to find time to do all these things. Then you got to study for the exam the next day. Especially when finals is coming up. You got like 6 finals. You got to do all that. Plus, you got the biggest game of the year. You got to go out and perform. So it's like a lot of stuff, and I don't think people really take
It's
all that into account.
a lot of stress. Like,
A lot of people don't take into the fact that athletes work as well.
yeah.
So
Oh,
you're doing all of that plus you're working, at the shortest 4 to 5 hour shifts on top of that, in order to pay for your education or whatever it may be. There's a lot of other variables that play into that as well.
That's a question I had actually. I thought, see, I didn't know. I've heard from like other people like I thought you couldn't work. Like it's like a conflict of interest or something.
I think it depends, like what, because I think some people do get in trouble for certain things. I don't know exactly what they do, but I know some people have gotten in trouble for like, I don't know. I just think it's because I had like a little like job, but it was a school job, so like obviously it was like through the school, but I don't know how.
Right. Because I'm sure they don't. I mean, I'm sure that like they would rather you dedicate your time to the sport, but it's like you said, like, bruh, I need money.
I don't know if like some people consider like that getting paid. Like I don't know. I really
Right.
don't.
But so I'm just saying, like, you can work though.
Yeah, you can definitely work. I've never, because I've always had a job like through my whole athletic career. I've always worked on the side,
Which is tough, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's been some rough times for sure. But I've never came across a situation where a coach told me that I was not allowed to work.
Okay.
There'd be situations where it'd be like, hey, like you do need to be here. It's not like you can just miss practice, miss games, and stuff like that. Like that's definitely not something that you're going to be able to do. But I've never been told like you're not allowed to have a job type thing.
Yeah, I think that's like you guys said. Like, I think that's actually a really good common misconception where it's like it's not all fucking smiles. It's not like I'm just like, oh, I'm trying to make it to the league. It's like, no, like Justin might have to like feed his family. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he needs a job while he's actually still putting in that crazy ass, work schedule or work or
And I think
sport.
that would be like a lot of people's kind of I want to say regular students, but people who aren't athletes. They say, okay, well, I have a job. It's like, okay, well, so do I, but I have practice as well.
Right.
I have to do the same amount of work as you, and then I have to go to work too. It's just
That's tough.
It's a lot. So like it just
Tough.
yeah, it's just weird when people say like college athletes or just student athletes they don't have to do anything because it's like we usually have to do way more than the average student.
Something that hella interested me and I was like shocked by, which I think people need to hear, is weren't you guys telling me that like okay, so most people might think like oh they're athletes, and they're getting to go to school for their education, whatever. Didn't you guys say that like in some cases you don't even get to choose your major?
Yeah, I mean some it depends like because uh like there's certain practice times or whatever. So like certain things, and I think it's more common at bigger schools. But like there's certain practice times or whatever, and then if like certain classes conflict with like I don't know like your meeting times and practice times, like usually they'll just try to steer you down another direction, like another thing. Because one of my like good friends went high D1. He was like, yeah, the major he wanted to go in, it just conflicted with a lot of like the basketball schedule. So they were trying to steer him down like another like path, like another major, but that's not why he's. Like,
I think that's like hella interesting to me because people are like, well, they're getting an education. And it's like, okay, it might not be the education that I necessarily even want.
right. And my thing is like how I kind of look at that is it's like, okay, you're really only here to play. So when people like when that kind of case comes up, it's like, okay, well, they're trying to steer me down a different path and it's not where I want to go. Like I have a major in mind, I have what I want to do in mind, but they're kind of just like, nah, just do this so it doesn't conflict with your practice times and your meeting times. Almost saying like, okay, you're just here to play, so just play. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's crazy. Well, yeah, no, I mean, I'm just trying to think of like other common misconceptions, but I think it's just what you guys touched on is pretty much like that's kind of like a good kind of view into how you guys like, what you guys go through. Yeah, I mean, as far as questions goes, one other one that I had is like the whole difference between like the full ride scholarship and like non full ride, I guess you'd call it. I don't know.
partial.
Yeah, I don't know because like I said, I'm coming at it from like I don't really know
Right.
this shit.
I mean, you just like you said what you told me before. Like, you would have made it if you just didn't mess with your knee or some shit.
Oh yeah, no, I for sure would have made it if my
Brandon,
bum knee. No, let's just leave it at that.
Bro,
Let's leave it
we
at that.
met in middle school. Like I was playing with you in middle school. You wasn't not nice.
Crazy skilled, huh? You ever heard of hot sauce?
I know who these people are. Yeah.
Yeah.
You wasn't
Yeah.
like, good.
Some people call me the professor. I don't know.
I feel like nobody calls you that.
I don't know. White chocolate?
No.
Feel me?
He played in the league.
Right.
Really? I don't know.
What does that have to do with white chocolate? What does that noise have to do with white chocolate?
Who's Raven? You feel me?
Right.
That's me. Anyways, yeah, no, I'm crazy. Like people know. People know.
Right.
You feel me? No, I'm just playing. But yeah, like just going back, like the whole full ride, non-full. Like, what does it take to get the full ride, or I don't know, and like what are the differences? Like I don't know.
I mean, full ride is just exactly what it sounds like. It's just everything's like paid for, pretty much like your education's paid for. Obviously, there's different things that goes into it, but that's like the most like simple way to kind of.
So it's pretty just self-explanatory. It's just
and then partial.
It just comes down to the money aspect of it.
Yeah. So say partial will be instead of you getting full 50,000, you getting 25 or whatever, or 34 or whatever. So.
For sure. Yeah, no. So I mean, if also like I think I posted this the other day, but if y'all have any questions for them or just like athletes in general, for sure, just hit us up. Those are the ones that I kind of came up with, but I'm sure there's hella more that people
I'd actually like to, based off of the full ride partial topic, I think people have a misconception of athletes in that regard as well. You look at, even some major D1 guys like, let's see, Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush, I'm assuming, was on a full ride scholarship, right?
Yeah.
But he and his family probably needed some money coming from where he came from, which is why he may have taken some money from the school, which then resulted in his Heisman getting taken away. But people think, oh, well, you're on a full ride scholarship. You have nothing to worry about. You look at the Fat Five, full ride scholarships, but they got in trouble for taking money for food. You know what I mean?
Oh, like Michigan?
Yeah.
Like Chris Webber right now? Yeah, they're all from like Detroit, like the
they was going crazy.
Yeah.
For me, me, I'm a Kings fan. Shout out C-Web, even though that timeout. I don't know. That's like, come on, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
hey,
stuff happens,
He's a kid.
But yeah, like Justin saying, like, that's a perfect segue. Like, that was a great segue.
Yeah, good shit. We didn't even plan that.
We didn't plan that.
Right.
That was great.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, that was tough. I like that.
I like
We're
that.
dappy right now, but no one can see it. But yeah, no. So, a lot of people are like, okay, because I think a lot of people take money under the table. Because I always shout out Aaron Foster in his podcast because he, like I said, he was one of the best running backs in his prime when he was on the Texans, and he said when he was at Tennessee, he took money under the table. And I think a lot of people like take money under the table because, and you're actually gonna play like a little clip of who is it? Tim Tebow.
Yeah, I mean that's
his views on it.
Why he shouldn't, or why college players shouldn't get paid. But I think you make a great point. I mean, bro, like these kids, these players, like that's cool. They have all this talent, but it's like they still have a family that's coming from where they come from. They need money, like so. If they take them, like it's people be frowning upon it so much, but it's like, come on, bro. Like, what do you expect, bro?
Because I mean, if I was in that situation, because like I think I was pretty good, but I wasn't like no Reggie Bush, Zion Williamson good. But if I was like that good and my family was in the situation, like we like were really really struggling. Like blessed to say like I wasn't, but you gonna tell a 17, 18-year-old kid like, hey you see your mom like she doesn't know like where the next meal's gonna come from or how she's gonna pay the bills. You gonna tell him like you frown on him looking out for his family taking that money? Like
it ain't like he's like copping a Lambo with that. And I think that's the misconception. They think it's like, think y'all getting paid when it's like, bro, nah, like we feeding families over here.
Yeah, there's been situations where, universities are buying houses for families, which is, it's frowned upon for sure. But you look at the situation, like in that context, like that family needed a house. You know what I mean? Like, and that kid was doing everything he possibly could to provide for his family. Because you got to think about it too. Like some of these kids that are D1 athletes were working, back home. We're literally providing for their family.
Right.
And, you're taking that whole income away from them as they go off to college. So, if I was in that situation too, I honestly wouldn't hesitate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, again, too, and I'm not saying every like high D1 athlete is like not like is underprivileged and struggles. I'm not saying that, but for the ones that are, like, you got to think, because like NBA, like let's just talk about NBA here, the one and done situation. A lot of people leave because they need to get their family out of the situation.
They need to get paid. Like,
same thing,
ASAP.
like when people used to come from high school, they probably knew they wasn't really ready, but like that's millions right there to help your family.
That's a good point.
So I don't like when people take money, and I think they're actually about to rescind that in what I think this year, maybe next year, they're about to start doing the high school to the league again. So I hope they do that, honestly. But yeah, I don't really think you can frown upon a kid for trying to help his family because, like you said, it's not like dudes are out there like, oh, I'm about to get all this cheese, I'm about to go cop a Lambo. Like, nah, like I'm trying to help my mom, my dad, because a lot of these kids are their family's meal ticket. Like they don't have anything else.
I was gonna
if
say,
they don't make it, then it's over. So like perfect case, the Sebastian Telfair story. When Sebastian Telfair, because he made it, but like he ended up falling off. But
yeah,
he had a whole documentary talking about like he's their meal ticket. Like he's the only hope they have. So if he doesn't make it, then mom's is gonna stay like that. Dad's gonna stay like that. So it's like
it's crazy.
I don't think people really look into it like that.
And I think what I was gonna say too is like, because you're right, or I think Justin said it, like these kids, they were working back home providing, right?
Right.
So for them to even like attempt to go after that dream, that's like, you got to look at it like that. Like that's even like honorable or not honorable, whatever you want to say. I don't know, but it's like they're leaving the home
Right.
and they're just like, they don't know if they're gonna make the league or not, but they're going for it. But it's like, yeah, they were working back home, so it's like they're essentially like kind of risking that. Like that's tough right there.
Yeah.
Like they're putting a lot on the line.
Yeah, you got to think about it too. Like, you know, some of these kids are thinking like, what happens when you get hurt? You have a career-ending, you know, injury, as you were just talking about. You know, knee was gone and you were done.
Yeah, no, like I could have easily like Duke, North Carolina.
Raven, you just hit it. I don't know if you just hit a growth spurt yesterday, but you was like 4.2, bro, until like nah.
Yeah,
you
and that's why, bro. That's why, bro. Because that's my knees.
With no type of lift.
Bro,
like, I don't know what.
Bro, I have Osgood slaughter, bro. I have Osgood slaughter. Okay, I'm just saying, I'm cold with it, bro. I can do a little something. You feel me? Like,
right,
I could have done more.
A little something is what we're talking about.
A little something against 7th graders. That's fine.
I was rocking with the 7th graders, yeah.
No, I'm talking about now. Like, right now, you may be doing a little something against 7th graders.
I don't fuck with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't fuck with that.
Oh, like you...
7th graders go crazy.
Some of them really do, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially these day and ages, you got 7th graders that are doing windmill dunks.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Hey, that's facts. I ain't
like
gonna lie.
6'10",
Yeah.
260. Like,
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, bro. Like, I think people need to really look at it, like, the whole, like, grand scheme of things and, like, okay, well, what situation is this person in? And that's why I really want you to, like, play the snippet because, like, his perspective, it just kind of, to me, says, okay, he's kind of, like, in a bubble within, only looking at how his situation.
Oh, you're talking about Tebow's?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll play that. We'll play that. I think we should play that when we get more into why or not, why college athletes should or should not get paid. I mean, yeah, we can honestly get into that now unless you guys have anything else. Because I think you guys brought up some good-ass points that I didn't really think about.
Yeah, no, we can keep touching on those for sure. Like, if you have anything else, because I would like to keep, because it was a great conversation to me, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of these kids they're meal taking the family's only way up. So it's not like they're just, hey, I'm going to take all this money and then spend it on myself. Like,
yeah, and you want to, I was going to say, do you guys want to maybe you touched on the Sebastian Telfair story, but you were saying something about Reggie Bush. I know a little bit about it, but like for those who don't, you want to tell them about that? Because that's kind of crazy to me. That's super disrespectful.
I feel like you know more the story than me. I mean, you start, and then if I honestly think you missed anything,
I don't like, because I loved Reggie Bush when he was at USC,
yeah,
but I don't.
Reggie Bush, bro.
I was kind of like just so upset they took the trophy away from him that I didn't really read too much into it. I just know like the basics, you know, like he did take obviously some kind of money, whether it was I don't know if it was him where they bought his family a house or there was some kind of situation where he obviously took money and they just stripped the trophy from him. But to me, that's like I guess I can understand it as a concept, but what did the money have to do with what he did on the field? Is my thing.
For sure.
So did they does that mean they like took away his stats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like those
took away the Heisman.
Seasons where I guess they accused him of like
I'm pretty sure it
It's
was
not
as
in the
if
record
he
book.
wasn't there.
Yeah,
Like
Reggie
that
Bush
never happened.
never ran the ball, I guess, for UNC.
Yeah, I don't think he played there.
That's
Statistically speaking,
that's
or
wild.
record speaking, yeah.
That's
But
wild.
there was
Yeah.
another situation too. You know who Terrell Pryor is, yeah?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean,
Terrell Pryor, I guess he got in trouble because, and I don't want to. I'm sorry if I like butcher this or if I'm wrong, but I think he had like jerseys or whatever, and he like autographed his name on his jersey, something that was his,
all right.
and he sold it, and he got in trouble for it.
And you can, if we're talking about gear and stuff like that, you look at guys that go to the major D ones that are branded or sponsored by Jordan brand, Nike, like Oregon. We're talking about UNC, Georgetown, like those major schools that get PEs when it comes to like sneakers.
Yeah, player edition.
What's PE?
A player edition or player exclusive.
Okay.
That's usually what PE stands for. And going based off of I need money. So I'm at UNC, right? I'm struggling as far as like funds go, and I get these shoes that I don't really like that I could sell for $5,000 for a pair of shoes.
Oh shit!
I'm doing it.
I'm doing it. You know
what I mean? Like if I don't like the shoe, why do I need it for?
Hell yeah!
Like so you guys are selling these shoes, and you can get into some serious trouble for doing that. Like even I'm pretty sure. I remember a situation at Delta, at my junior college. I had a teammate posted his, this is junior college, right? So we're not even talking high D1 or anything like that. Junior college, we had some, brick Adidas. Granted, they're free shoes. Some people do need them, so I'm not knocking it. But one of my teammates didn't like them. He was like, these are trash, which they weren't very good quality shoes. I'm not going to lie. But like I said, some guys need them, so no knocking it. Yeah. But he wasn't feeling them. So he was like, I'm getting rid of these. We were like, okay, you ain't got to wear them. He posted them on his Instagram for sale and sold them. And he almost was removed from the team because of it, because of that, you can't sell your gear essentially like that. And I do understand it to a certain degree.
Why is it? Because it's like school property, or is it looked at as no, it's like that's just so weird to me. Like, bro,
honestly, I don't even know.
I'm not sure what the exact.
I think it's just because they consider you an amateur and you shouldn't be getting. It's like amateurism, I guess.
That shit is stupid to me.
Because you're not a professional in it. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I think if you're making.
That shit is stupid.
Yeah, if I'm a top guy and then my jersey, because I brought this up to you, if I went to Carolina, because Carolina's my favorite school, and they had a number 10 jersey, granted it doesn't have my last name on it, but I see people in the stands wearing number 10 while I'm there. Say I'm the best player on the team. Obviously, they have that jersey because they know it represents me. They're a fan of me probably, right?
Of course.
Right. So if the school's making, say, $5 million off that, and I don't see any of that, it's
I'd be upset.
Right.
I'm not expecting a fat check, but you guys are making money off of me.
Right.
Facts. So I think with that, let's just segue right into it. Because I think that's a good point.
Sure.
Into why maybe college athletes should get paid. But yeah, so second part, should college athletes get paid? Yes or no? Me personally, like I said, I'm not an athlete. So I say yeah, I think you guys should. But as you know, I used to not think that.
Yeah, talk about why you were on the fence about that.
I used to sometimes, I used to think that y'all shouldn't get paid. I'll get into that. But my mind's definitely been changed. I will say that I don't know how athletes should get paid. That's my only thing. I do think you guys should. I don't know how though. I have an idea, but we can get into that later. But what are your guys' stances on it? I mean, I'm pretty sure they know what you guys are gonna say.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I'm not in the mindset or the thought process hey, athletes should be racking in LeBron James numbers or thousands and thousands of dollars. No, I don't think so. But and we're gonna play. We have a little clip as well that we're gonna show you guys or let you guys listen to. But a lot of dudes, and one of your questions actually, I don't even think you asked. We sometimes we'd be hungry. You don't have food. So
no.
I think if college athletes, especially if you're one of the main dudes, and you don't have food to eat, but the school's making millions of dollars off you, but you can't. You go back to your room after a game, you drop in 45, 10, and 10, but you can't even eat. Like,
yeah, we can play that Shabazz quote. But I'm just saying, so you say they should get paid.
Absolutely.
What about you, Justin?
I definitely think athletes should be paid to some extent.
Question.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
no doubt in my mind.
I also think it's before we get into it, because I'm gonna kind of play devil's advocate here. And say like why.
Yeah.
I like how you just like got ready. Like you guys can't see it, but Justin kind of just like did this weird movement where like he was like it's like he was like ready to like now it starts.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm ready for
I'm definitely ready for like what you're about to say.
Yeah.
They're like looking at me like they're really excited to like prove my points wrong. But I do have a couple things why or what people maybe would say like why I shouldn't get paid. I did a little research.
Yeah.
Just a disclaimer, like I said, I'm playing devil's advocate. I do think you guys should get paid, and
sure.
I'll touch on even why I do think you guys should get paid as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's a good point. We'll play that quote. I think it was from like Shabazz Napier or whatever about the food thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think it's interesting too. Don't you guys have a teammate that like actually thinks you guys shouldn't be getting paid?
Yeah, former teammate.
I always think it's interesting when you hear athletes actually say that you guys shouldn't get paid.
Yeah, but like I said, people got different situations. So if you like super privileged and you're just looking at it from that standpoint, like, hey, why would I need to? Like, I have everything I need. You do.
I've learned as I've gotten older that there's context to everything. I feel like that plays a huge role into just a podcast and a whole. Like it's all about conversation. You got to have an open mind. You got to be able to listen to other people's viewpoints. And I feel like people tend to say things with a very closed off mind. Without looking at a whole situation as a whole.
That's dope.
That's kind of the point of this whole podcast.
That's
people to have a conversation and look at other people's perspectives and not just stay in your little box and like what you believe and what you grew up believing. Like be open to hearing
and be willing to have your mind change.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like
anybody can listen to somebody, but you go into something like, hey, this is what I think. So whatever you say, cool. But like I'm not going to even really bother with it, but like you said, be open and be willing to change. Like if you like, hey, you made a great point. I didn't even think of it like that. And really,
that's how real change happens. Like even apart from like our topic tonight is in the world. I think that's how shit actually gets done when you actually do have that conversation. It starts with that.
I think that like not to backtrack to the very first topic of what we're talking about, but I think that's another reason why me and Aaron like click so much. He's obviously a very talkative person in terms of having those conversations, and I've never like really met somebody that was like so I guess you could say like-minded in a sense that they were able to listen to other people's viewpoints and stuff like that. And I think that's why we click so much because me and Aaron do have like conversations all the time about topics outside of this or just on our own, and I think that's why we do click like a lot because we do have those conversations. We have a lot of the same viewpoints, and even when we don't, because there's situations where we disagree on topics, but we're able to talk that out, see each other's viewpoints, even if we still have a difference of opinion at the end.
I think that's rare. That's why I be like I said, I fuck with you tough, bro. Obviously we're friends. Same with you, Justin. Like I only know you for a couple months or whatever, but like you dope dude. Like same shit. Like I think it's rare when you have somebody that like can listen to what you're saying, wholeheartedly disagree, but still
understand be like your viewpoint in the sense,
or at least try to, or like whatever.
Most people like to say that they're like that, but when it comes down to it, they're not really.
Yeah, but they get like really pressed about it too. Where it's like, all right, bro, like
if you hear something that completely contradicts what you believe or your worldview, then you're just super.
Like our first two episodes, like we're talking about some heavy stuff, racism, and then spirituality. Me and you disagreed on both.
Right.
That's some heavy shit. I'm sure you have your views on it.
Right.
But yeah, it's like we still could just have that conversation, which I think is dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, so bringing it back to should college athletes get paid? Do you have any stats that you wanted to say? Because I have a couple, just so they kind of get
so I've been using the amount of 5 million, but one of the stats I want to bring up is I'm sure even if you're not a very big sports fan, you probably have heard the name Zion Williamson.
Yep.
So obviously Zion, first pick in the draft in 2019.
Pelicans.
Yeah, New Orleans. They got a steal with that one. They shouldn't have got the first pick. But yeah, Zion.
What was that? What year was that? That was
2019. I think they had like low key the worst odds to get the first pick.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but shout out to the Pelicans. But so when Zion was at Duke, I said Zion would have made over $5 million strictly from like how much money they were making off jersey sales and just everything Zion. he would have made over $5
Like
million.
merchandise and shit.
Like Zion merchandise,
Yeah,
like
Zion,
bobbleheads, stuff like that.
Zion merch, he would have
T-shirts.
$5 million.
He would have racked in over $5 million.
And how many years was he there for?
One.
Damn.
Probably didn't see none of that.
Yeah, that goes strictly to the school. I mean,
that's crazy.
Granted, he may have been.
Yeah, he was probably taking a little like some
money under the table, but
the fact that it's not legal, you have to do some under the table stuff with that.
And it's his name. It's wild. Yeah. So another stat that I read, and this might have been from a couple of years back because to be honest, I didn't check what year it was. But after hearing that, I feel like this might be a little skewed. It says that annually, so every year, the NCAA brings in $871.6 million. So I'm sure that's entails everything, not just jersey sales, whatever. But that's just so that people know, they're bringing in about $900 million yearly. Where are they using that money? Like that's what we're gonna get into, right? Like obviously they're using it for other stuff too, but could be using it for the players, like paying them their what they're due. Another one I read was it costs roughly like $25,000 a year for a student to go to school, like roughly. So like $100,000 for 4 years. I'm sure it's different.
I mean, me and Justin
25 is I would say is a low average, especially based off of like the schools that I've looked into and just heard about. But I mean, I do know some schools that are around that price to go per year.
Okay,
but I still think that's a fairly low average.
Right. I think it said like 25,000 to something else. I don't know.
It's probably
and it might have been.
But yeah, there's definitely probably schools that be on that for sure.
So that's what it costs. So getting into that, you guys want to jump in to why players should not get paid, like the points I have, and then you guys want to dispute those?
Absolutely, yeah.
So we get to that. You gonna respond to that, yeah?
Yeah, like I'm gonna ask you a couple of them. I'm gonna start off with, and like I said, I agree with you guys. I might chime in and say what I have to say too. But the first one, I think that everybody knows. Everybody be saying this. Y'all getting education. Y'all getting education. Y'all are getting food. Y'all are getting housing. So why would you get money on top of that?
I think that just goes right back into one of our previous topics of a partial scholarship. Not every single athlete. Not even some guys are walk-ons. You look at some high D1 athletes as well. You see the videos all the time of, a guy that's a walk-on athlete has a job, and he gets surprised with a full ride scholarship, and kids will break down into tears because they are working their tails off every night, getting off at 2 a.m., still getting up for 5 a.m. practices, finding times to sleep and somehow eat. You look at, what's that show on Netflix? Last Chance U?
Yeah.
There was one, I think it was...
There was
a close one where a kid was living in his car. You know what I mean? Like sleeping in his car, crashing on teammates' couches at night, not knowing if there'd be nights where he wouldn't eat. But to me, like you should be paid to a certain extent. Some kids, some athletes truly need it.
Right.
And the education thing, because like I told you, and I definitely do think that's a point. So I don't want anybody to think that that's not that's not dope that you're getting.
Yeah, because some would say that like schooling is extremely important. So you guys are getting that for free.
Absolutely.
I agree that you guys should get paid, but one of the reasons why I used to say that you shouldn't is because I'm white. Like we've talked about this. Yeah. I know that I have I have white privilege, right? That being said, though, I didn't come from money. Like I grew up, like my family, we never had money. So to me, like education, when I got older, the way I looked at it is like, one, since we didn't have money, if I had the grades, I pretty much could have went anywhere just because of financial aid and whatnot. Right. But coming from like a household where you don't have that much money, it like made me think like, okay, well, let me think about other people that are in the similar situations as me, or like even like third world countries. Education is a privilege.
Right. Yeah,
so the fact that you guys are even get to do that, I understand that you guys are putting in the work, and like I said, I agree, you guys should get paid. But that used to like not piss me off, but I'm like, well, education is a privilege, and you guys are getting it for free. So I don't see why you guys are bitching about getting money. That's I'm just keeping it.
No,
I feel me, because this is a heated like topic people would be talking about.
I feel you, for sure.
So I used to be saying that, but after hearing, actually talking to an athlete, it's like,
Yeah.
all right, let's sit down.
So-
if you're not an athlete, like maybe you
Yeah.
shouldn't even be talking about this shit.
No, I think everybody has like a right to talk about it, but like not everybody wants to listen. Like everybody is welcome to a conversation. I think everybody should have it,
Right.
but you need to listen to both sides. So I think athletes, just like I think people who aren't athletes should listen to athletes. I think athletes should listen to other points.
Right.
But I just think people who don't think athletes should be paid don't want to hear how hard, and I'm using air quotes, how hard the athlete has it, like how hard their day to day is, because they think, hey, you're getting a free education, I had to pay for mine, or whatever. And I don't think people really understand. People don't get how hard people work to get those scholarships. I don't think people really understand how much sweat equity they put in. Like in high school, like people don't go to proms, don't go to dances, don't go to school functions, don't go to parties because they're working on whether it's football, basketball, baseball, swim, whatever. You put in time. So it's like you're putting in all like work. You're working. You're not having the same experiences as your high school friends going to prom or going to dances, going to parties all the time because you're in the gym. You're lifting.
And, I just thought of this too. People be bitching about, they're getting a free education, because of the sport they're playing. But it's like, bro, like people get scholarships all the damn time.
Yeah.
Not based off of just fucking sports.
That's actually another great point is, students get scholarships. You know what I mean? Like you can get a full ride scholarship based off of your academics, strictly.
Yeah, that's
strictly academics.
That's I just like that's.
But
that's
nobody says. People say congratulations for that.
Yes.
But when it's like
y'all should listen to that. Really listen to that because I didn't even write. We didn't write that down.
I honestly totally forgot about the whole aspect of students like scholarships because going to Delta and stuff like that. Like I applied for scholarships that way as well. I may have gotten some money academically as well, but people don't really take out that aspect. And even me, like before you even brought that up, I completely forgot that point as well.
All you hear about is the student, like the athletes, but you can get a scholarship for, like you said, academics, but you don't hear nobody saying,
right, he's getting a free education.
Yeah.
Like what? They only say it to athletes. I remember I think in like middle school or even high school, they were telling us, like you can get, if you do your research enough, like you can find a scholarship for anything.
Yeah.
Like blonde hair.
Left-handed people as well. Yeah. I'm left-handed, so I looked it up, and there's scholarships for left-handed people.
Yeah.
That's insane. And you don't hear those people talking about, hey, bro, you getting like obviously they're not going to send you on a full ride for being left-handed, but if you can get some money out of it, nobody's going to say anything.
$100 is $100, $50 is $50.
Right.
I ain't about to lie to you, bro. I tried that left-handed stuff too. I was trying.
You're not even left. Did you?
I know. I was like.
Yeah, okay,
I mean, to be honest, all you got to do is write a little, an essay for, typically those kind of scholarships, explaining certain things.
Right.
So if you can convince somebody you're left-handed, I think you deserve it.
I was about to say, how do they put that on the line?
Because I didn't know, what it entailed, so I didn't know if somebody was like, all right, bro, write a letter with your left hand.
That's what I'm thinking, right?
So I was like, damn, I got to work with my left. I used to low key try to get the little hours in, trying to write with the left. My left is kind of smooth now. I'm not about to lie to you.
That's hilarious, bro.
And then plus when I brought it back to the if you meet with the counselor or whatever, if your schedule conflicts with practice times and stuff like that, they'll try to steer you down. I'm not saying everybody, but like I said, like I've had homies or whatever. Tell me they were just trying to get me to do this other major because it conflicted with my meetings, or meeting times and practice times. So when people say, okay, you're getting a free education, it's like, okay, well, he's not even doing the major he wants. Because not everybody has aspirations to go to the NBA or NFL. Like, some people, if you get that full ride scholarship, it's like, okay, my family can't pay for school, so, I got this free ride to play basketball. I'm going to be here for 4 years, then I'm going to have my career.
They actually are, focusing more on the degree. Right.
Everybody's not your LeBron James or Steph Curry, so you're going to be in the league in 2 years or whatever. So I think that's another thing. I think people just think, hey, this guy only cares about basketball, football, but it's like, nah, bro. Like, not everybody's trying to play pro. Like, some people really use it to just get that, the education. So
I think that we actually have a friend of ours, a really close friend of ours, that used sports to get his education. Brandon Moss is.
Oh yeah, B. Yeah,
Shout out to B. That's
B Moss,
one of our guys for sure. Aaron touched on it earlier. Me and Aaron were somebody that was always in the gym. We love the sport. We're two people that would want to continue our career athletically after college, right? And
hell yeah.
Sometimes it was frustrating.
Me too, bro.
Trying to find some of our teammates to get in the gym or want to play during the summer and stuff like that. And as an athlete, like loving the sport, I'd get upset sometimes. But like once again, there's context to everything. Right. Talking to Brandon Moss, he made a point like, hey, like I love basketball, but I'm here for my education.
Right.
And like right away, I was upset because obviously, like, get in the gym with us, like we're trying to hoop. You're on the basketball team. Why don't you want to play basketball? But like you step back and actually look at that, and like he said, some people are actually there using that scholarship that they're getting paid for athletically to pay for their education. It's student first. It's always student athlete.
I think that's dope.
I mean?
He's just like, it's almost like he's like,
Yeah.
bet.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna just finesse it then. Like, but it shouldn't even be looked at that really though.
Because I mean,
but
in a
that's
sense,
dope though. Shout out him.
The school's taking advantage of you in a sense. They're taking
why
advantage.
not?
So you
why
do
not
the same
use
to
that
them.
in your favor?
So yeah, like he brought up a great point. Like because I was kind of like that too. Because me, like I do believe education is important, obviously. But like I love basketball, and I worked my ass off to get like the skill set I got.
Yeah.
So I was trying to I wanted to play overseas after. So when I heard something like that, not that like I don't understand. Like hey, I'm using this as a tool to just get my degree and go into my job field. But like once I really sat back, I was like, I feel like everybody's not on the same thing I'm on, and I can't get mad at them for that. You know what I mean?
I can imagine though, it'd be frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, especially during the season when you you got a season coming up, and it's like, damn, I'm trying to win games, but it's like you really got to sit back and be like, yo, like I respect that because like you're using it as a tool, like you love basketball, but like you can't play forever. And everybody knows that,
right?
So you just.
Is Vince still playing? Vince is still playing hard. He just retired.
Retired like 2 years ago, I think.
That's wild. That boy was old.
Still doing windmill dunks.
When you get older though, you become like a under the rim player. Like he learned how to shoot. I feel like. I mean,
I feel like that now though, bro. I'm only 24, bro.
Yeah, you be saying you do not like to dunk.
Nah, I mean, when you've been dunking since like first time I dunked consistently. The first time I dunked, I was 12, but consistently.
First time I dunked, like I feel you though. The first time I dunked, like it was. I'm just playing.
I was gonna say, when did you win?
That's still an aspiration of mine.
Not saying that I'm, booming, but
yeah, I can't. I've never dunked, but that's a goal of mine for sure.
Well, you be playing like high school seasons and AAU games, like it adds up. So like you just get tired, dog. Like you be, what Drake be saying, I'm way too young to be feeling this old. I feel that.
Well, I don't like that. You just quoted.
I feel that though, because like I'm 24, but I be. Like I can still do some stuff, but it's like, damn,
way too young to be feeling this. Oh,
yeah.
Even you though, like you can yam, right? Or like you have before.
I have before. I'm not gonna say like I said, I'm not booming. Like I'm not doing it on fast breaks, but I have the capacity to dunk the basketball. Yeah.
But the way you be talking to me, hella funny. You also like you're a different position than Aaron, so like you probably be getting like banged around a little more too. I feel like you're dealing with the big body binges over there. You feel me? Like
I mean, we just have different play styles too.
Yeah,
like he's more to the rim. Like I don't like to touch the paint because I know what people be on. I'm gonna just finesse you, dribble around, shoot the little midi.
Aaron's really good at creating the space he needs. I'm just gonna make my own space.
You just gonna. I fuck with both.
I'm not running into you, bro, because I'm not the biggest dude. So
yeah, I feel it.
But yeah, bro.
So I mean, that's a good. I think y'all made some good points.
Oh, the snippets, bro. We gotta play those. We gotta play both of those.
So. No, for sure. I think we still got a bunch more. I still have more questions, but yeah, if you want to.
No. I just thought you wasn't.
Oh no, not at all. I was just looking at the notes of like the first one was like you guys are already getting paid by education. I think you guys tackled that one.
Yeah. That's the biggest one. My bad. That pisses me off.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom shout out to my mom, but my mom, I don't think my mom thinks that she get paid.
I think that you should tell her what we were talking about, where it's like, well, what about a scholar? Like the whole thing, it's like it's the same thing. Like
she's definitely she's gonna listen to it and let me.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one, which I thought is interesting. it says, or I said, what about like an internship, right? Like you don't get paid for an internship, but you're still bringing in the company money, and it's essentially like an audition, like an interview to get into it. So what would you say to that? Where it's like,
what do you mean? So
it's like
I know what an internship is, of course, but like,
so it's like because you guys are saying that you guys are bringing in money for the school, right?
yeah, you're just interns and you're just
So
we bring in like damn near all the money.
My thing is if you correlate the two terms, internship versus like an athlete, an internship, as you said, is almost like an audition. Well, once I get to university, my audition was JUCO high school. That was my audition. You signed me, like we have a contract. If you want to get down to it, like I'm signed, sealed, delivered. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So if we're going down that road, I do see the point.
I just thought it was
to a certain degree. Yeah. But an internship is, like you said, an audition. You're not hired yet. You're not guaranteed that job.
Yeah.
Like you go into internships knowing you could spend, what is it, like 6 months to a year?
Right.
Like, I don't know how internships exactly work as far as time frames go, but you can be there for a year and then, your internship is up and they hire the next guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm at a university, like I'm here until, I'm either cut from the team, but that's different. Like you
already kind of signed into it.
That's a fire. Like you're firing me at that point if you cut me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm here already. So
I just thought it was interesting. I thought more so it's almost. I just thought it was interesting because it's like a little smart ass remark. It's like, well, what about internships?
I can see. Paid. Yeah, I could see how somebody could make that point.
Right.
I mean, you can break it down. And,
but you tell me what interns bringing in over $5 million for you.
That as well. Yeah.
You feel me? Like, so you want to call Zion an intern? Like
he the CEO.
Dude, like, come on. You tell me what intern's bringing in over $5 million. Why is he still an intern?
So, even if you base it off of our school, based off of numbers, do you remember the percentage, like what they told us population-wise our school was? Like athletes as a whole made up like
65%.
Yeah, it was like 70, almost like 80% of the school's population was like 80% at our university. So you think about it, you take away all the athletes from the school because the school, are you guys even going to be able to hold classes? Like,
that's wild. They're like building it off of the backs of you guys.
So even if we're not bringing in money through national televised, matchups, with UNC or Duke, we're paying that tuition. Not all of us are on full ride scholarships. So you're getting tuition from us as well. So
yeah, I think it's another thing where it's like people just are so pressed when they just think like they do automatically think of the full ride, where it's like, nah, bro, like some of these cats are still paying.
Yes.
Like they're still paying.
A lot of them, especially our situation. I think, Mitch was the only one that got like a full ride. Mitch, you know what's crazy about that? Shout out to Mitch too, because I'm really not trying to throw.
Was he like a teammate?
Mitch is the homie for sure, but like even Mitch will tell you, you'd be confused. Like, I don't know why I got all this money, bro. Because I think it was like what 38 or something, like 30,000 a semester, or it was
closer to like 40.
Yeah, so say it was like 30. Yeah, just say it was 38 a year,
35.
Okay.
Mitch, everything paid for it.
Hey, that's dope, guys.
Yeah, good for Mitch. Like, I'm not mad at Mitch. I'm not mad at
Mitch.
But like, so before, because Mitch came in our senior year. Before, I literally just came off winning. I was first team and just damn near won rookie of the year, right?
Yeah, you were newcomer of the year, right?
Yeah,
which
so
is
pretty much
rookie of the year as far as league goes.
If we would have won league, I would have won MVP. So I was like.
He was hot.
It was Blackwell, and then I was like top 5 voting probably.
Yeah. Probably top 3.
Right, and then I came back. Mitch had his full, which is fine, because I wasn't on a full before that. But like, I was expecting like, like Todd, I was just hooping like, if it's not full, like at least I'm probably gonna get more, because I just right.
And what's funny about that exact point there is obviously like and Aaron knows that I didn't play a whole lot while I was there. But when I did first sign, obviously knowing how expensive it was, I was like, hey, like I perform. Am I going to be seeing like more? Because I'm sorry, but this is a lot. Like I'm going to be having to pay for it. Granted, I'm grateful for the partial scholarship, absolutely. For sure. But I'm trying to make it easier on myself, so I don't have to work as much. You know what I mean? Because I was working, and I was told like, yeah, absolutely. we're going to be taking care of our players. So, you produce for us. We're going to produce for you, essentially. It's like, cool, awesome. And granted, it didn't happen for me. But I'm not upset about it. I didn't do my part, whatever.
I got a reduction though. Like imagine
you got a reduction,
bruh.
Oh, they
I wasn't making as much as I got the first year.
Not only that, they increased tuition.
So that's why I was making less.
Yeah.
Or I had to pay more. So imagine
they be playing with
Imagine James Harden. Imagine James Harden, third in MVP voting, first team, walking to the front office like, "Yo, y'all about to like, what's up? Like, you know what, James, you're tough, but
we're either gonna keep you at the same.
Yeah, we're about to take away $15 million so we can give it to bruh that's just not gonna play.
We're gonna give it to Mitch.
Shout out to Mitch.
Yeah,
we're gonna.
Mitch is our guy. For sure.
Hey, I need to meet Mitch and Zach. Was it Zach?
That'll probably never happen.
Probably never.
But those
they're one of the some of the funnier people.
I miss those two dudes for sure.
But yeah, man, it's just
that's crazy though. Damn.
Yeah, like not everybody's on full ride. So especially our situation, like I was saying, a lot of dudes are on partial or girls are on partial, and most of your money's coming from the athletes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
damn. Okay, so another one that's we spoke on it briefly before, but it's not so correlated around like money and whatnot. But it's like people say like it takes away from the passion of like sports. Where like if you look at it, college sports, people watch college sports way more than they watch professional sports. Like if you look at like basketball and football, right?
Yeah, I for sure football.
So I'm gonna play the quote real quick if that's cool with y'all. From Tim Tebow. Those who don't know, Tim Tebow, quarterback in the NFL. He says that like if you start to pay these players, essentially it'll just take away from quote unquote the passion of college sports, which is like it's an interesting take for sure. But I just want y'all to hear it because dude is like extremely adamant.
Extremely adamant.
Sounds like he's pressed. So I'm gonna put it.
What is he? He's on First Take?
Yeah, First Take with Stephen A. and Max. Shout out Stephen A. and Max. You know Max used to rap.
Yeah, I've actually seen a couple. Like
it's wild.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna play the quote though.
Yeah, Mike Kellerman.
Yeah, no, he has like a music video.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You seen Kobe's music video?
Oh hell yeah. With Brian McKnight. Shout out B Night. I love B Night.
Why did you have to say his name?
Bro, people that know me, bro, they know I love my slow jams. You feel me?
Yeah, some Brian McKnight back at one.
Some Ashanti.
Back
super
at
tough.
One. You know what I mean? I was gonna leave y'all. My favorite Brian McKnight song is "You're the Only One for Me." Like y'all know that.
I can't really speak on that. I only know back at one. I be jamming.
It's like that sister episode when like he's like the teacher and like Tia or Tamara's like he comes around. It's great. I love Brian McKnight. Shout out B Night. Anyways, from me back to what we were talking about. Tim Tebow on First Take with Stephen A. and Max. Talking about, it's going to, if you pay these players, it's going to take away the passion of the game. So why don't we listen to what he says?
From that reality. I feel like I have a little credibility and knowledge about this because when I was at the University of Florida, I think my jersey was one of the top selling jerseys around the world. It was like Kobe, LeBron, and then I was right behind them, and I didn't make $1 from it. But nor did I want to because I knew going into college what it was all about. I knew going to Florida, my dream school, where I wanted to go, the passion for it, and if I could support my team, support my college, support my university, that's what it's all about. But now we're changing it from us, from my university, from being an alumni where I care, which makes college football and college sports special, to then, okay, it's not about us, it's not about we, it's just about me. And yes, I know we live in a selfish culture where it's all about us, but we're just adding and piling onto that, where it changes what's special about college football. We turn it into the NFL, where who has the most money, that's where you go. That's why people are more passionate about college sports than they are about NFL. That's why the stadiums are bigger in college than they are in the NFL because it's about your team. It's about your university. It's about where my family wanted to go. It's about where my grandfather had a dream of seeing Florida win an SEC championship. And you're taking that away so that young kids can earn $1. And that's just not where I feel like college football needs to go. There's that opportunity in the NFL, but not in college football. That's fair. Can't argue with that. Tim, as usual, I think you...
So, that's kind of what he said. Dude sounds extremely pressed.
Super pressed, yeah.
And then Stephen A. and Max go on to say why they actually disagree with him, why they think that college players should get paid. But, I'll let you guys kind of take it from here. What do you say about that?
I mean, Justin, I'll let you.
You guys were kind of like I saw Justin. He was like laughing kind of during it, and then like also just like you guys like look frustrated because it's just like the shit he was saying. It's like,
honestly,
I don't
like
know.
one of the reasons I laughed, he was saying Jersey's super tough, so I thought that was kind of just he was just saying it weird. But yeah, I completely disagree. I understand what he's saying. Like it's not like I'm super oblivious or like clueless to what his point is. I just disagree with it.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, like all college athletes or people that are like about to start playing college sports coming in as freshmen, they're not from like their situations aren't the same. So I'm assuming, like I don't know Tim Tebow's background and upbringing, but I don't think he was not like, privileged and he had to really like struggle from it. So like if he came off a game, like he'd be like, "Hey mom, like or whatever, can I get some money?" Like because I was fortunate enough to be like, if I needed some money, my parents would send me some money. So like, but everybody's not like that. So
What you're saying is like the dude didn't grow up like needing money, but like basically
probably not. And like I said, I don't know his upbringing, but like I'm assuming he didn't.
Right.
So when he says it takes away from I don't think people are thinking like that. Like I don't think people like some people care. Like yeah, because like I had a dream of like going to Carolina or whatever. But like if I was in that situation, if I have Carolina and like Syracuse like offering me, and one of them's like, and my family's in a dirt poor situation, like we can't like do anything. Like I'm the meal ticket.
Yeah.
If I really want to go to Carolina, but Syracuse is like, yo, like we'll offer you this, this, and this. I'm probably gonna take this, this, and this from Syracuse.
I mean, it just makes sense.
Right. So it's not.
It's like bigger than that. It's not about fucking passion. It's about like no, I need the money.
Right. So some of these kids just need it because they're the meal ticket. So I'm not saying like he's wrong with what he's saying. Like you should want to just go because you I don't know been dreaming about that school and stuff like. But like, it's not that simple. So I don't think he's looking at the whole picture. I think he's looking at his situation.
I think you're right. I want to get to Justin, but before that, I just think that he is technically not even technically. He's right.
Yeah.
The passion, like you can't deny the college sports is just there's just more passion behind it. So I see what he's saying for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, I don't think it has to be black and white. Where it's like you can be right, Tim Tebow, but we can also pay these players.
That's why a lot of people do the one and done thing too. Like people are trying to get straight to the league and like the high school thing. Like I said, when people used to just leave from high school, I'm assuming a lot of them probably weren't ready and kind of probably knew they weren't. Like you're 17 going against 25 and 30-year-olds. Like you're probably not ready for that unless you're LeBron James. But
you got to do it.
You need money because your family needs money. So like it's bigger than that. I don't think he's like you said. It doesn't have to be black and white, but. Yeah, like, how do you feel about that, Justin? Like, I don't know if you have, like, different points, but, like, that's just kind of my big point. Like, it's just, it's not so black and white, man.
I feel like money is power when you break it down. And touching on that topic, I feel like paying a player isn't going to, I mean, personally, I feel like it's not taking away from a kid's passion. You know what I mean? Like Aaron touched on it. Some of these kids need the money in order to survive, whether it be day to day, whether it be pay their families, whether it be paying for their education. You know what I mean? Like, I'll tell you firsthand. I'm in student debt, and I'm not even done with education. You know, with my education. So, a lot of people like need that money, and to touch on like Tim Tebow, say Tim didn't need that money. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure Tim is a big advocate of donating. I think he's like really big on like donating programs and stuff like that. From what I remember and what I think.
Yeah.
So you don't need the money. Give it elsewhere. You know what I mean? Like I know there's ways that help a teammate out. You know what I mean? Like if it's about it could still be about if you're getting paid.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Like it goes back to that. Like just because like I think people think, oh, he's getting paid, he's gonna buy a Lambo.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You could use that money, like you said, donate all of that shit to fucking charity, bruh. Like you could do some real good with that. Like
there's even like me and Aaron, like that's another reason why we're so close. There's been situations where Aaron may have needed me, and I took care of him. And there's been situations where I was like, yo, Aaron, like I needed some assistance, and he took care of me. It's just because you're getting paid, that doesn't mean it's strictly I anymore. Even if you're not helping a teammate, like I said earlier, some people are helping their families back home, which is another reason why, like he said, or Aaron said, sorry, is dudes go one and done because they're trying to get to that money. You know, they're trying to get to the league to get paid. You know, some of them obviously want to play in the best league ever, but at the same time, they're looking for that money. You know, they're trying to take care of their families. They're trying to feed their kids. You know, some guys are 16, 17 going into D1 colleges with 2 kids too. You know what I mean? Like
one on the way.
Yeah, you got families to provide for. Some maybe your own. You know what I mean? So,
I think you're right too, bro. Like the dude Tim Tebow, he's so passionate about like saying like it turns into I and instead of we. It's like, bro, like no, it doesn't necessarily mean that. Like why? Like that's like you're
looking at it from.
If anything, if somebody tells me, hey, you know, the better you do, obviously, the more popular you are, the more your jersey's going to sell, the more money you're going to make.
Right.
Do you know how much work I'm going to be putting in just to get better? You know, to me, that's gonna drive me even more.
I was about to say, I feel like that. Yeah, you could almost say the opposite, bro. Like if you about to throw me some money based on my performance, watch how I ball out. Like,
absolutely. Like even like that's why based off of scholarships alone, guys are like, hey, I performed this year. Will I be getting a bigger scholarship? You know, forget the pay me on the side type thing. Forget the jersey sales. Forget the, you know, the bobblehead sales, all that other stuff. You know, I don't care. Don't pay me off that, but are you going to raise my scholarship? You know what I mean? Like
honestly, that's kind of how I was thinking too. Like obviously, I wanted to win. I just wanted to like show out because that was kind of like the first like opportunity I had to like kind of be the leader or like the guy on my own team. But I didn't want like my parents to have to like pay for anything. So I was like, yo, if I hoop this year, which I knew I was about to do, and I did, they gotta up it to 4. Right? There's no way. And obviously, it didn't happen like that, but. And I think you'll see a lot of examples, and you can look at a lot of players. Like when they get to the league, they kind of just coast because they're comfortable. Like, yo, I kind of made it. Like my family's good. So I think that's like a lot of the reason. Like people just want to get there strictly for their families. Like I'm not saying they don't love the game, but like some people will tell you, like, and you can look at interviews like people that retired or like even like like retired players. They'll say like when people get to the league. They just feel comfortable and they don't really put the same amount of work in because they're here. Like they can take care of their families.
Yeah,
they can do all that. So like the one and done thing, people just leave for that. Like family's always going to be number one for a lot of people. Yeah. So
okay, for sure, I agree, and I think that we kind of just not debunked that, but like addressed the whole passion thing. Like it's not black and white. It can be both. Like go ahead, Tebow. Like you can say that you're right. Like you are right. You know, whatever. College sports more passionate, but. You can still pay these players, and you're either going to get the exact same amount of passion, or as Justin said, like you could get more.
Yeah.
Like you said, like if the driving force is money trying to provide for the family. Like you might even see a little bit more passion.
And I messed with how passionate he was. Like that's dope. Like that he likes college. He loves his college sports and loves Florida, his school. But like it's not like bro, you can't be so.
Yeah. Like I said, there's context to everything. Yeah. So
yes. Okay, for sure. Another one. Another question. Let me find it. Oh yeah. I kind of could even like. I think I have I could kind of answer my own question, but some people, because from what you guys have said, some people say like, well, if you pay these college athletes, like it just takes away from the education part, right? Like they're just gonna want to go to college just to make money.
Right.
And I want to hear what you guys say, but I would just say that like, BMOS is a perfect example where it's like. No, the dude like literally just going for an education.
Yeah, because that's his way. Like
doesn't matter if he's getting paid or not. He's actually just going for the education. He doesn't give a fuck about the. Well, I don't want to say that. I shouldn't have said that. But I'm saying like if somebody of that like I just took it to the extreme. That mindset would be like I'm here for the education.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think me and Justin we're there for the education too, but some people have that desire to play afterwards. Like some people just don't, and that's perfectly fine.
Oh, right. And I didn't want to make it seem like you guys weren't there for the education.
But even because like even now what they're doing, some people will bypass college because you can't make anything from it.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
So,
I have a stat on that.
They're going overseas and stuff.
Yeah, number 1 player in the country last year, Jalen Green. He's in the G League now. Brandon Jennings, I think.
I was just going to say, bro, Brandon Jennings went to Italy out of high school, signed a $1.2 million deal.
Yeah, that was like in 2008. So it's been happening for years now.
Yeah.
So people, they see the college system because, like I said, people care about their families. So they're like, if I go to college, I'm not going to make nothing. My family's still going to be in the situation.
Right.
Let me cash in on my talent. Because think about it, too. If you go to college, you get hurt, tear your shit up. what are you gonna do? Because like there's situation where people will take that scholarship away from you.
That's crazy to me. That's like some like real fucked up shit.
Right. So if you lose your scholarship because you got hurt, what are you gonna do? So people are like,
they need to change that shit, bro. That's insane to me. The fact that it's like, yeah, ball out for us, right? But if you get injured, like, sorry.
Yeah. So and
like,
that's
we're not gonna give you your education.
And that's what I'm saying. Like when people are like, okay, and I'm not saying it happens in every situation. Like they're gonna take the scholarship away, but like it definitely has happened before in the past. So that's another thing where people are like, okay, well, you're here for education. You're blessed enough that they're paying you to do this. But it's like, dog. So if I get hurt, you take it away from me. Like, so I'm really just here to hoop. Am I here for an education to like better myself and get this education or hoop? Because you guys are just taking it as I'm just here to play for you guys, right? Like you guys don't give a damn about my education. Because like I said, if I'm talking to you about classes, but it conflicts with the schedule.
That's a good point.
You're gonna try to steer me down a different path.
And why did they recruit you guys in the first place?
Right, because I'm talented. I can play basketball. I can catch a ball. I can hit a ball 7 miles. So it's like, do you guys actually think I'm here for am I here for my education? Because you're treating it like I'm just an athlete to you.
That's what kind of hurt me, honestly, because like he said, like we would talk to our coaches about scheduling classes and stuff like that, and I kind of really didn't listen to the coaches about changing my classes because I strongly believed in what I wanted to do, like as far as major goes. So, there was, I would say, two practices our senior year or his senior year, my last year there.
Practice restarted and just be like, I got class, dog.
At least 2 practices a week, and you got to think about it. Once season started, we'd only get like 2 practices a week, so I was missing like a majority of our practices half the time because I was trying to get those classes done.
And that's the crazy thing because it hurt him though because he wasn't like the coaches see that and they think, oh well, he's just missing. Well, it's like nah, you guys always, and that's the crazy.
You guys be preaching it.
Yeah, they
they
contradict themselves so much. They're like, you guys need to be having it in the classroom first. Well, all right, Justin got practice, like he has class right now, but you're looking at him like he's on some wild shit. But he just because he didn't want to switch his major because it conflicts with what's going on. Like nah.
See, like I said earlier, student athlete, but then they want to change it to athlete student.
Right. So it's like
super hypocritical.
Yeah, that's why I can't really rock with it don't make sense to me. That's why I don't care. Like when people take money, it's like nah, but because they taking advantage of you. You're just an athlete to them. Like the whole student, you're just an athlete to them. They take advantage. They know what they can make off of you. So
I mean, I think I said told you this earlier today when we was in the car. It's like slavery, bruh. Like to me, like they just be like really just like putting y'all to work. And like I get that there's like it's not literally like slavery, but like you know what I'm saying, bro? Like it's kind of sick when you look at it like that. Like because after hearing you guys talk, like when you be like, we're just an athlete to them. Like they don't, and especially you look at the Zions and that like that's all they are, bro. It's just a dollar sign.
And like teachers at like big schools too. Like I never went to a big school, granted, but I'm sure teachers at big schools they'll probably excuse like some of like the top dudes. Like I'm sure Zion, Ben Simmons, and them didn't really have to do the same stuff, but they're just looked at as an athlete. So that whole student stuff, they don't care. So
like the shut up and dribble thing, right? Like that's so funny because it's like if you're gonna preach student athlete and then you hear this bitch say that, like what? Like how you're gonna say shut up and dribble, but it's like, but then you preach student athletes to kids, so it's like which one is it though? Like, do you want them to just be athletes?
That's what I'm saying. So when an athlete starts just trying to like thinking of themselves, okay, well, if they're just pretty much just treating me like an athlete, why do I have to care about this? Right. But then they start getting mad when you don't care about this. It's
like the whole you look at the the NBA, the whole dress code thing that they changed. Remember how long ago?
Yeah, because AI in them.
Yeah, shut up and dribble. Yeah. But you need to be role models at the same time. Well, if I'm a role model, why can't I speak my mind and lead a certain way and try to be a role model?
Good point.
But, talking about people look up to you and stuff, but you tell them
to shut up.
The hell up.
That's wild.
Come on, yeah. And like I said, like
Iverson had some dope fits.
Yeah, Iverson was an icon, bro.
I was about to wear his jersey today. I have the Hoya jersey. I thought that would have been a little cliche though, like to wear a college jersey to the college episode. So I didn't do it.
Yeah, especially since there's no video.
Hey, video coming soon.
Video coming soon though.
Oh yeah, see, Aaron is back now. When he starts saying weird shit like that, we gonna have to run that shit back. I'm gonna edit it, and we gonna run that shit back.
Video coming soon for sure. But
hell no.
Yeah, nah. But I just think it's ridiculous how people.
Right.
It's just so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really.
So like, I don't really necessarily have any more like questions, but I do have a lot more to say, and I'm sure you guys do too. So like the whole just jersey sales.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's like it's like criminal to not give them the money because it's like, bro, like I understand you don't want to pay college players, fine, whatever. But when you're talking about like putting my last name on a jersey and then selling it and then not giving me any money, that's to me that's like illegal, bro.
Well, a lot of times I feel like they use that as a loophole. They just don't put the names on the back.
Well, you already touched on that though. But even if they do, let's just talk about both though. If they have the name on the back, then it's like super.
You got to, yeah.
To me, it's like, bro, that's like illegal, bro. You over here like using video games?
I was just gonna say that.
Like, I think that's why they stopped.
You have to give me a percentage of that, bro. That's me.
That's why they didn't like NCAA. Like it used to just be if you was playing with USC, it used to be halfback number 5. That's Reggie Bush. That's like. So people used to, when I used to play, I used to like go out and try to like actually put all
change
the
names.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just.
But even like you said, if the name's not on there, like come on, bro, we know that's Justin out there.
We know.
Right. Yeah, like we know that's Justin out there, bro.
Right. Like you got little kids in the stands wearing Zion's like number jersey. Who do you think they wearing it for?
Right. That's what I'm saying. But that kind of brings into like the next video. Or like snippet.
Are you talking about the Shabazz one?
Shabazz, yeah, because I mean,
we'll touch on that. How you guys said that like people. My first question to y'all was like, well, you guys are getting free education.
Yeah.
Some what I read. Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys get free food too. Like you guys get meal plans, right?
Yeah.
So sounds nice.
At the end of the day, every student does.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds nice, right? Like, oh, you guys have that, but then as you touched on, you might not be able to. A lot of players might not be able to work, or if they do, then you're like Justin, and it's like a super strenuous schedule.
Yeah.
So if y'all could touch on the whole food thing, because you guys have told me stories of like some crazy shit where it's like, yeah, I'm hungry.
We could just talk about the Hawaii shit if you want. I mean, that's different, but like, you know what per diem is, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, like, professional, like the term, like, per diem, like, oh, we're going to give you this, like, $100 for a week.
Right.
Or whatever.
So
yeah, you go ahead.
So we went to Hawaii like that when we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Had a couple games with Hawaii, and they gave us what, like 120?
I think it was like generously 150. We'll say 150 generously.
It wasn't 150, but let's just say 150.
Okay, I like it. Feel me?
So we went for a week, and usually what normal people do, this is normal, like people that aren't doing athletic things, you'll eat what 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, yeah?
At least probably some snacks in there, bro.
Probably some snacks in there.
I'd be trying to get like 3,000 calories a day.
Right.
That's actually very generous because I remember it wasn't more than like 15 a day, $15
right.
a day.
I think it was 12 a day.
Yeah,
we only had like limited like 12. Let's just say $12.50 a day.
That's like one meal.
Yeah.
Right, and then you expect.
Keep in mind we're bigger athletes. So.
Yeah. That was another thing I was gonna say. Like continue, but like
then you expect us to go out and perform, especially like I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but like especially if you're one of the top players. You're expecting to go out there and drop dub every night, but you haven't eaten. And if you don't drop dub that night, you lose the game. Coach is looking at you like, why weren't you playing good? Like, why did you go 1 for 10? I don't know, Todd. I haven't eaten in 3 days, my guy. Like, that's why
I'm very thankful for the money they did give us, but at the same time, like,
for sure,
come on,
like don't expect me to keep my averages of like 17, 5, and 5 when I haven't eaten in 2 days.
So they give y'all $12 a day
the whole week. Like some guys would go and like splurge and stuff like that, like going to breakfast restaurants and having full meals and stuff like that. I couldn't do it because I mean, for one. If I'm doing that, I can't tip. Knowing the money I got, I can't tip, and I can't do that because I worked in a restaurant. I know what it's like. Yeah. I'm not gonna, sit at a table for 45 minutes to an hour and a half with my teammates, joke around, drink about 8 cups of water, 3 cups of apple juice, and have this lady or guy running back and forth and leave them nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I used to work in a restaurant. I agree. Even I don't know how y'all be feeling. I feel like even if the service is shit, I still do.
Yeah. Half the time it's not even the server's fault. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's the kitchen. Messing up the order.
Stop.
You know what I mean? Like it's.
Because before that, I didn't work in like a restaurant, but after that, like I know.
Oh,
I used to be,
shout out Chili's.
Yeah, I used to work at
Yeah.
Chili's too.
Oh,
Like
both of y'all
serving.
I was at
You can't just not tip, dog, because it's usually not the server's fault.
Right.
that was facts.
So like that whole week, me and Aaron survived off Domino's pizza, bro.
Yeah.
See, that's my thing too, where it's like
Domino's pizza,
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yes, a box a day.
Box a day.
And
it was like, what do we? It was like 3 slices a meal.
3 slices a meal, boy. If you got more than that, you wasn't eating the next time.
I was gonna say y'all was getting mad, like, hey,
bro. Especially after like game day, because at Hawaii it was hot, it was humid. So like, and especially him, I know he obviously sweat more than me. Yeah. But like one of the games, I played a fairly decent amount. So I went home and had like 6 slices. That next morning, I couldn't eat.
you gotta wait till the next time. But that's the thing.
That's
though,
crazy, bro.
Like
it's funny, but it's not.
Yeah, it's like. You expect us, and that's how, like, honestly, like, that's how people, like, get, because I got injured that tournament, so I played the first game, but I didn't play the second one, but, like, because you're not eating right, like, because the cheapest stuff, because we don't have money, the cheapest stuff is fast food,
yeah,
so you're expecting our bodies to be in top, like,
optimal performance,
yeah, but we don't have the resources, like the good food.
I think there was only like one like restaurant. It was that breakfast place. But like I said, breakfast places are usually typically like not expensive, but based off of the funds that we were given, you know, it wasn't enough.
Like you go to bed hungry. There was actually.
What about school though? Like sorry to cut you off. Like because you guys said like the food at school wasn't even like.
Yeah, it was pretty much the same thing. It was
chicken nuggets.
Yeah, chicken nuggets, pizzas.
Granted, like once again, I'm very thankful for what we were able to eat and stuff like that. I never want to seem ungrateful for anything, but at the same time, like the food wasn't phenomenal. You know, it wasn't great. Couldn't like I've always been a picky person, and so like I'm kind of a little bit biased, obviously, because I am picky. But I tried, and sometimes like the food there just it wasn't great. And not even if I am able to eat everything. Say I loved everything in that cafeteria every single day, every meal. We talked about it before we started the actual episode here. There'd be situations where we just couldn't eat because of timing. There was times where breakfast would be from what was it there like 7 to
like 10.
10. So say I have a full day, and at the end of the day, I obviously have homework. Right, I'm up till 2 doing homework. Do you think I'm waking up at 7 to eat breakfast? Probably not, especially if I have an 8 a.m. class. I'm sleeping until 7:45. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? So I have class from 8 to 10. By the time I get to the cafeteria, it's closed, right? Okay, I miss breakfast. Lunchtime comes around, Lunch was what, like 12 to like 2:30, something like that?
Yeah. Something like that.
Most of the time you're taking your classes during that time because practice is, right around the corner. So, all right, miss lunch. Can't get lunch. Dinner comes around. You have your practice from like 4 to 6. Sometimes dudes film, weight room, whatever it may be. So you might not get out of the gym or the facility till like 9:30, 10. And on top of that, most of the time we were having mandatory study hall right after. And if we weren't there by a certain time, the whole team got in trouble. So sometimes if we were lucky, we could have like 5 minutes to run to the cafeteria, get a box of dinner of some pizza, whatever's in there, real quick, shove whatever in a single box. Because keep in mind, the way it worked there is you had a single swipe. And once you filled up a box, that swipe was up. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit.
So it's not like we could just take 3 boxes of food.
And it wasn't like dope-ass food, right?
No. Right, yeah, no.
My thing is like, it's like athletes, like you guys should be on like the best diet.
Yeah,
but it's like you're on like chicken nuggets and pizza, bro.
Yeah. What? So you think about it, 1 meal a day of whatever you can throw in a box,
right? And then you gotta come out and hoop, and drop 20,
and that's the whole week. That's just not one day. You might have a day where you have less classes. Maybe you could have a lunch, but most of the time, like I was eating maybe 2 meals a day, maybe depending on timing. Yeah. Like there was times where I wouldn't go to class so I could eat lunch because I was hungry.
Damn, bro. Y'all hear that, bro? Like, that's that's sick. Dude, you said you missed class so you could eat?
Yeah, like, there was times where I'd be like, I can miss lecture. Like, I'd have, like, a teammate or a friend in there be like, hey, like, take notes for me. I'm going to go have lunch.
Dog, there was 1 week, because we used to go to Winco OD. There was 1 week, bro, I really ate honey buns and lemon heads the whole week.
Yeah.
And juice. And I drink juice the whole day. I mean, whole week.
There was times where like we'd have like a vacation, like school vacation type thing, and some of us just couldn't go home because like you didn't have a car at the time, huh?
Nah.
So like anytime, honestly, Aaron would go home, it was because of me. Like I'd help my guy out, I'd drop him off at home, head to my crib for the week, whatever it was, and I'd pick him up. We'd go back to school.
But it's now you got the Honda now, or not? It's not
yeah,
Honda,
yeah.
whatever.
But like sometimes, like even sometimes, like I wouldn't go home because I was just like, I can't really afford to be driving back and forth like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think people forget where it's like, yeah, you're in school, but it's like you still need to survive on a daily basis.
But like
you still need money, and then that's
the cafeteria would be closed that whole week.
Yeah, it closes
because school would be closed. Essentially.
Back to Domino's.
Excuse me. So. Like you said, we'd be surviving off snacks.
Yeah.
Lemon heads and honey buns.
Honey buns. And then
terrible.
Just like Minute Maid juice. But I didn't.
Winco was really like the plug.
Shout out Winco.
And I didn't have a fridge, so if you didn't drink the juice in time, like it would be like growing, like bro, it was weird.
So I think that's a good point. Like I don't know if you want to actually play the quote.
Yeah, like do it off. Yeah.
But Shabazz Napier. Played in the NBA. Is he still playing in the NBA?
I don't think so. I think he might be overseas. But keep in mind, like, if you guys don't know who Shabazz Napier is, I'm sure, like, some people that listen will know who Kemba Walker is. So when Kemba left and got drafted, like, Shabazz became the guy. Like, he was the main dude on the team. He was the best player. And kind of, like, just leads into what we're about to play for you guys.
Yeah, so it's, like, basically him just talking about same shit that, these guys were talking about how, like, dudes are going to bed hungry, basically. Like, they're not doing it, so let's just go ahead and play it. It's about like a minute long.
I mean, it's kind of great. Good for them. At the end of the day, to certain points, we as student athletes, get utilized for what we do so well, and we definitely, we're definitely best to get a scholarship to our universities. But at the end of the day, that doesn't cover everything. We do have hungry nights that we don't have enough money to get food in. Sometimes, needing money is needed. But I don't think, you should stretch it out to hundreds of thousands of dollars for players, because that's not, a lot of times guys don't know how to handle themselves for money. So, but I think, Northwestern has an idea, and see where it goes. Do you feel like an employee? I just feel like a student athlete, and sometimes, like I said, there's hungry nights where I'm not able to eat, and but I still got to play up to my capabilities, and sometimes it's that way. I don't see myself as so much of an employee, but when you see a jersey getting sold, it may not have the last name on it, but when you see a jersey getting sold, things like that, to some credit, you feel like you need you want something in return, and sometimes it feels that way. But like I said, I don't think student athletes should get hundreds of thousands of dollars. But like I said, there are hungry nights that I go to bed and I'm starving. So something can change, something should change. But if it doesn't, at the end of the day, we've been doing this for so long. So
yeah, that's pretty crazy. I mean, like this dude played in the NBA. Like it's not just like a random dude. Not to say you guys are random dudes because you guys have been through the exact same thing, but this dude has played in the NBA and he's saying the same shit that you guys are saying. Like he said, he went to bed hungry some nights. Like that's and I saw you shaking your head in agreement. He's not asking for hundreds of thousands.
So I think it's like to his employee. It's hard to see yourself as an employee if you're not getting anything for what you're doing. So I don't think he should see himself as an employee because he's not getting anything. I mean, obviously people say the free education, but and like I think something was pretty interesting that he said was like we've been doing it for so long, or like athletes, but you kind of get used to it. Like as sad as that is to say, you kind of get used to like, okay, well, I don't know what I'm gonna eat, but I'll just somehow make it work. Yeah. And then I gotta go play tomorrow for 35, 40 minutes at a very high level. I'll make it work. But I don't think it should be that way. You know what I mean?
I think that's the thing where it's like people are just so like, this is how it is. Yeah. But it's like they just don't look at it from other points. Like the whole thing of like you can get a scholarship for just for your whatever your I don't know the word, but like you can get a scholarship for anything other than just your just sports, right? People don't look at it the same though. Yeah. Like people are like, you get to go to school for free, because you got a scholarship because of your grades. But then they're not tripping on that. But then they're tripping if you guys are.
Yeah, because I think people
Like,
when
it's
people
weird.
look at it as in terms of like, hey, he got a scholarship for his academics. I think they see like hard work. Oh, he was studying for tests. He was doing all the homework. He was passing all the
Yeah.
tests. But when it comes to athletes, they don't look. He was in the gym for 5 hours working on the same thing and didn't go home until he got it right.
And
They
still
don't-
got the grades. Because
Right.
they're not just giving you guys
Right.
these scholarships on Fs.
Right, that's
Like,
what
you
I'm
guys
saying.
still have to
Right.
perform academically to a
I
certain
don't think
extent.
I think people value because a lot of people weren't blessed with that athletic ability. So I think a lot of people are kind of like, I don't want to say jealous, but it's like he's going to get to play for like play a sport.
Right.
I had aspirations, but I just wasn't good enough.
One of the things I saw, which I didn't even write this bullshit down because I was like, that's not a valid argument. One of the arguments was, well, they get to travel. They get to see the world. Like, I'm like, when I saw that, I was like, what? Like, okay, like that just sounds super like petty. Like,
Yeah.
they get to see like they do travel. That's part of the thing. Like it's just like a job. Like it's a job that you have to travel for. Like
I just don't think people really understand the work athletes put in beforehand to get
Right.
that opportunity. Because like I said, people was like, if you get an academic scholarship, oh, you deserve that. Like you were studying for all your tests, you were passing all your tests, doing all your homework, doing everything, putting hours into your studies, hours into your books.
mm-hmm.
But when you're putting hours in the gym or hours in the field, it's not the same.
Right.
That's why I don't.
I have a question. Do you guys think like high school players should be getting paid? Like where does it stop?
High school, nah, because I don't really think. I mean, it depends. Because usually high school, you're not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, high school. I mean,
I don't
granted, some kids do work in high school and have to provide and stuff like that, but you're not paying for your education. I mean, that's not.
I just don't see too many.
And like the competition.
Not even that, but like jersey sales. I don't really see too many people wearing.
Yeah, like
That's fine.
Like after you'll see when Zion was like in the league,
They
you'll
want
see
that.
you'll see Zion jerseys like high school, like Kobe jerseys. I don't think anybody's really wearing Kobe jerseys when Kobe was in high school.
That's facts.
Like LeBron jerseys, maybe I don't know, probably, but
No,
honestly,
I see what you're saying.
yeah. So
I just thought it was interesting because like somebody brought that point up and I was like, it's like it's a reach. But
Yeah,
it's like,
I don't think high school athletes should be.
No, I don't
like. I don't think there's enough revenue coming in for
Right, exactly.
for like a basketball program or a football program, essentially like that to be distributing to players like that.
I mean, in some cases, probably like the bigger schools,
Right.
But like majority, like you're not like Heritage High School isn't bringing in stupid cheese like that to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I just think that, bro, like if you're gonna put their last name on it or whatever, like on the jersey, like you need to be paying them. I just think that's how I think it probably because like, what do you guys have a solution like how you guys should be paid? Because like I don't know, I just think that like it would be a percentage of sales.
I just like I said, I don't think it should be like I don't think it should be thousands and thousands of dollars, but you shouldn't be going to
It
bed
should be
hungry.
something.
You shouldn't be going to bed hungry. So if a kid needs money to get food, the least you can do is give him money to get food. Because Shabazz made a great point. Like Shabazz doesn't think like he was the best player on a national championship team, and he's saying, "I wasn't expecting no $1,000, but I was going to bed hungry. Why am I going to bed hungry? You shouldn't be going to bed hungry."
Yeah, it's a good point.
I think there's a way to break it down, whether it be like there's a team fund and it's all just distributed evenly, or you know what I mean, like say like you strictly personalized merchandise, whether it be like if your face is on it or if it's your jersey. Obviously, I feel like that's you.
Yeah.
But you would look at other stuff like how much like you said, the NCAA brings in strictly based off of televised matchups and stuff like that, or like just the schools in general, how much they bring in based off of stuff like that. With ticket sales, you know what I mean? Like those games ain't free,
right? They coming to see somebody.
Yeah, so stuff like that. I feel like maybe a percentage of that should be the teams, whether it be distributed evenly or like you guys just have a setup that helps feed like your students, whether it be like a fund or like a card that each player has. You know what I mean? Like
because I think like if you say like, well, if you just keep it as college athletes should be compensated or paid in some way, then some people will be like, okay, well, what about bro at the end of the bench, or what about dude at the D2? I think if you're like we were saying, if people are wearing your jersey, like if Zion's supposed to be bringing in over $5 million, he should see something. But bro at the end of the bench, number 92, that's not bringing anything. No, because he's not bringing in money.
I would say, yeah, no, I agree with you. But then actually, after hearing you guys, I would still say that you still need to address the problem of Burrow at the end of the bench not seeing any playing time, still putting in work
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
going to bed
yeah.
hungry. That's still a
And
problem.
that's what I'm saying. Like, you shouldn't, like, none of these kids should be going
Right.
to bed hungry. But if you're bringing in over 5 mil,
Oh yeah,
That's why I said like
You should be
the
compensated.
personalized item.
Yeah.
The personalized items, you should be seeing some of that.
Yeah.
But like there's other stuff that definitely brings in a lot of revenue for schools.
one thing I saw, which I think was interesting, because I think that it needs to be like this needs to be changed.
Yeah.
Because one of the problems that somebody said was, well, if you pay, because basketball and football are the main ones, right?
Yeah.
That like bring in all this revenue. So they said, well, if you start paying athletes, then how are the other sports gonna fare? Like it's gonna ruin the other sports, like tennis or like volleyball. Like how are they gonna get funded essentially? But my thing is like, I don't know, figure it out. Tennis shouldn't be relying on basketball to get funded by it. Like I don't think that's fair. That like Zion Williamson is essentially
Carrying the whole athletic
carrying
program.
carrying the athletic. Yes, like so it's like I get that it might be a tricky situation where yeah, like they're using those funds from basketball and football to help the other athletic programs. But that's not my problem. Like you guys have to figure that out because, like you said, one Aaron Barry or Justin Nieto like should not be carrying the athletic
Right.
department.
I mean, at the end of the day, too, like it's not like we said, it's not like we're looking for that whole check.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like basically just saying, just none of these kids should be going home hungry.
Super.
They
It's not
should
a lot
be
to ask
be
for.
able to, if they are providing for their families, they should be able to send a little something here and there to their families based off the money that they're making. You know what I mean, or that they're bringing in.
Yeah.
But like you used a stat earlier of how much schools they bring in. There's no way you're telling me that you can't provide for other programs, even if you do chip off a percentage of that. 871.6 million. Based off of whatever year that may have been. There's no way that a school can't pay some of these athletes and still provide for the rest of their programs. That's why some of these universities are so nice. They're so expensive to go to. You know what I mean? Like it's
one of the other things I saw was like, well, they shouldn't be getting paid because they get to use these beautiful facilities, and I'm like,
how do you think those facilities are created? It's based off of the funds that they're bringing in.
Right.
So
yeah, I think just a couple more things like I wanted to say. Like I wrote down in my notes. It's not necessarily a question. It's none of that. But the whole like you saw what Draymond was saying like a couple days ago. He's like the business aspect of it, of just sports in general, college sports and NBA for sure too. Just going back to more of like an athlete kind of thing. It's crazy how they like expect y'all to do this, but then don't do this kind of thing. Where I think Draymond said something like you look at, I can't think of an actual player, but it's happened multiple times. I think maybe Anthony Davis. Like you'll get fined if you publicly demand a trade, but then the team can go around and shop you publicly and say, "Hey, we trying to trade, bro."
Yeah.
But the minute you say, "I'm trying to be traded," they're gonna fine you. Like that's crazy.
Just, like people it's just so much like it's just such a business to people. Like you're pretty much just looked at as like a chess piece.
Yeah, or like with the Cavs, like in like Drummond, like they told him like, "Hey, bro, like we're not gonna play you, but you need to stay in shape."
Right. So it's
crazy.
And that's why I don't knock. Like I'm 100% player. Like on the side of players, like I don't knock players for saying. I think it's like some of the ways they go about trying to like get traded is kind of dumb. But
yeah, for sure.
Like actually like sitting out like nah, bro. Like I'm not playing for y'all no more because y'all just like the whole Deshaun Watson thing. That's perfect.
What was that?
So he's asking for a trade because I guess the organization said, "Hey, we'll keep you in the loop. We'll talk to you about like the like coach like head coach hiring. And we'll like ask for your opinion." They didn't ask for his opinion. They just hired a coach, and he was like, "I'm not with that. Y'all lied to me. Like I'm the franchise. Like I'm the guy, and you told me you would keep me in the loop, but you didn't." So he's sitting out. He's like, "I'm not playing."
Yeah, that's dope. I fuck with that. You need to do stuff like that.
Yeah, but they're saying like, nah, he's staying. He's gonna play for us. Like, essentially, like you're just their property.
That's why I say the whole like
you definitely can't make a dude suit up, but
yeah, like I was confused on all these. I was like, what do you mean you're gonna play for us?
No, that's why I say like when you look into it, it's I mean, like you said, I hate to bring it back to race, but it'd be on some like it looks like it's weird. Like you just have these people controlling these players. It like that's why I said like the whole like slavery thing, if you will. Like it just seems sometimes, and I get it's not because like you're getting, especially when you talk about like professional sports, you're getting paid. But it's like it's just grimy the way they be handling their business. Where it's like what did you say? They told like no, you're gonna play for us.
Yeah, it's
Like,
just
what
like
are you
essentially
talking about?
we're not gonna trade you. Like you're gonna be here. Essentially, like
It's crazy
they
to
try
me.
to hold out on trading people. It's like dog, like nah, like y'all burned the bridge. You lied to me. Like you could have hired whoever you wanted, but just talk to me about it. Because like at the end of the day, you're gonna make the decision. But you said you would keep me in the loop and like ask my opinion. Like you don't have to listen to my opinion, but at least ask. Like I'm the franchise quarterback.
Like you guys know, I'm a Kings fan, right? The way they did Boogie, like during the All-Star game, the dude finds out like he gets traded.
Got traded, yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Even
Or Harrison
Barnes got traded in the middle of the game.
Yeah, like that shit is crazy to me. And this goes back to like I feel like it's similar to like even like with jobs. Like the whole like 2 week notice thing to me is stupid. Like it's not stupid, but like I get it. But it's like how if you go to a job and you're gonna quit, you have to give them 2 weeks notice.
Yeah.
But they don't give you 2 weeks notice that they're about to fire you or whatever. Like or let you go. I mean, if you're getting fired, it's probably because you're doing some wild shit. But even if they wanted to part ways, though, they're not gonna be like, "Hey, Justin, like we're gonna let you go in 2 weeks."
Yeah.
It's more just like, "Here's your last check."
Yeah.
But we have to let them know, "Hey, I'm gonna quit in 2 weeks."
Yeah, it's just like I said, it's just a business thing. Like you get traded, and like people don't really take into account like you got to pick up and move your family, different schools, all that stuff. But yeah, it's just.
I want to hear. I want to hear your boy Nick.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to hear what he says. Like I want to hear what he's saying because that's kind of what it's been like almost like 2 hours now.
Yeah.
I think we kind of ran through a lot of it, but even so, I think there's a lot more to be said.
So if we ever have a part two, we'll definitely do a call in.
Yeah. And
I
those who
want to hear what he has to say, and like you're gonna say, like anybody else who has different opinions or who.
Because you guys played with Nick, right? And you told me that he thinks that you guys shouldn't be getting paid. Yeah, it's interesting to me for sure.
Yeah, but that's pretty much to wrap it up. That's pretty much it. Definitely knew it was gonna be a longer episode because there's just so much you can get into.
Yeah.
Shout out to Justin though.
Shout out to J Bird, aka J Squeeze, aka J Money, aka J Dirty with the 30,
aka Just Not Good Enough.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't go by any of these names, by the way.
Just Not Good Enough?
No, I don't go by that.
Just in Time?
Yeah, I got killed by him in Fortnite.
Let us know though if you guys disagree. If you guys agree, we want to hear what y'all are saying. Like AB said, appreciate you, Justin.
And then the whole like little moonwalk thing. I gotta do that.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say that, but
because I already knew something was gonna happen. Like, hey, why hasn't he done it yet?
Yeah, I had like people at my work like, what's up with that? Like, people at my work were like, yeah, bro, like, is he gonna do it?
Yeah, no, I got y'all. But like, if you really think, all right, so get sidetracked. Am I not cool with the footwork?
Yeah, no, like you know what you're doing with your legs.
I know what I'm doing with the lower body.
I mean, my thing is just like, hey, bro, like, you feel me? Like, I never seen you dance, so it's like it's hard for me to you feel me?
Absolutely. Just know, like, when it comes to footwork.
I mean, I've seen you hoop, so like, I know you have the foot.
Nah, just like I'm talking about, just like dancing footwork. It's there.
Yeah. Then you say your boy like, who's the best dancer out of y'all crew?
It just sounds like we're really on some choreographed shit.
I'm more of a side to side, maybe a little clap or snap here and there.
A little 2-step.
Yeah.
Well, Wait, like, isn't you said B-Moss goes crazy?
He's just weird.
He's just
hey, that's nice. I'll fuck with that. I'll be on some
dancer.
shit.
You might just start busting it down, even like I don't know,
just on some weird shit. But the best, I don't know. Like I don't know. Coop can't dance. I don't really. Marcus is. I don't really even think Marcus can dance like that.
Marcus just be like. He's
These
just like
all
mobile with it.
Yeah, he just doesn't care like what you say.
These
so he's
are all
more
your
funny.
teammates, right? You know what I'm talking about?
I mean,
Marcus isn't.
But in terms of like talent, like the most talented, I'd probably say me.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see it for sure. I mean, we voted on it, or we put the poll up. Nobody said.
I was gonna say, wasn't it like 100%?
It was 100% of people wanted to see it. And hey, like, if you guys want, let us know. Like, I'll post the results, like, and let you guys see like how many people voted, because I just want to let y'all know it's not like 2 people are voting and it goes to 100%. For like the racism one, there was like 15 people voted. Like for the moonwalk one, it was like almost like 10. Like everybody, but yeah, everybody voted yes. Nobody said no.
Right.
So you're gonna have to do that at some point.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
We'll be posting that somewhat soon.
For sure.
It's just we gotta let dude get into his You know.
just pretty much
Put a
just
mic
like,
on the ground so you get friction in the carpet.
I'm not doing that on carpet. You didn't even hear I don't. Okay, yeah, nah. But anything you want to say, Justin, before we?
Definitely just wanted to, thank you guys for having me on. Being the first guest on the podcast, it's a pretty big thing. Yeah.
It is. You'd probably be back on, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I hope so for sure. But yeah, appreciate the invite. It's great talking. I love these conversations for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, like always, follow us on IG, Twitter.
Dumbest in the Room pod. You feel me? But yeah, that wraps it up. Stay in tune to see this boy moonwalk. Feel me? Shout out Justin. Y'all be cool. College athletes should get paid. Yeah, no, for sure.